Yo, what's popping, man? We popping up on y'all this weekend, bro. We popping up on y'all this weekend. What's happening with y'all, man? I don't know how many people gonna come. I don't know if anybody gonna show up, but I'm in here and we got a lot to talk about, man. So if you do come in, be sure to smash the like button, bro. Let's get it popping up in this thing, man. I got some things I gotta do. I just popped in here and came live, so I got a lot I gotta do right quick, man. But y'all be sure to smash the like button as you come in the building. It's your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here to talk about some Terence Crawford and some Errol Spence, man. I'm just here. I just slid up in here and surprised everybody. I see y'all in the building. Y'all be sure to let me know you're here. I'm just, sliding in when I can slide in because the holidays coming up and I ain't gonna be able to go live as much as I usually do. You know what I'm saying? The wife and the daughters, they out there doing the Christmas shopping shit. So I got a little bit of time right now, man, before we go do our thing later on tonight. Y'all smash the like, smash the like, smash the like. We're gonna get a roll call going and we're gonna talk about this Errol Spence Terence Crawford thing, man. And be sure to share this if y'all can as well. I gotta monetize this shit. I ain't even had time. I just popped up on them. Let me go to my content. Let's see what's going. But man, we got some big news in the welterweight division, man. Sure do. This shit crazy. Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas is confirmed. That's what we're gonna talk about on today's live stream. And if anybody feel like they won't come up, let me know. We might drop some links today. We might drop a few links today, man. Let me throw this on my Twitter right quick. Let me share this on the Twitter. Boom. Get that mug going. We're gonna say surprise, we live. You know what I'm saying? Surprise, motherfucker. Surprise. We live. I bet. Get that tweet sent out. Boom. We'll make it a post on the community page too, just in case. Make it a post on the community page. Live right now. There we go. Boom. So yeah, man, what's up to everybody in the building? We got 14 people in here already, man. I appreciate y'all coming and rocking out with your boy, man. It's been a good weekend. You know what I'm saying? Had to come talk a little boxing before I get ready to run. You know what I'm saying? And as I said earlier, if anybody want to pop in, y'all can pop in, man, and I'll drop the link for you. We got Skinny 2 Litty. Salute, bro. Lori Reed, what's popping, Lori? I ain't seen you in a minute. I know you be busy and stuff, Salute to Tank Davis. She out there repping the DMV. Tank Davis did his thing. Can't wait to see what he do next. Can't wait to see what it do next. Melanated Royalty in the building. Salute Melanated Royalty. We got That's Me, my brother. What's up, bro? Over there with the Montana Love picture. We got Cool Killer 87. What's popping? We got Cassandra in the building, always showing love to the channel. Mama. Oh, there you go. I don't know what was happening. It took a while for your comment to pop up, D-Hive. But salute to the homie D-Hive. This news got Bud fans heated. Man, listen, that's why I had to hop on. Silver in the building. That's me again. Knockout, how you feel about this Mickey Bay crap going on, man? Listen, I'm getting my thoughts together, bro, because I don't like to just people that been following the channel for a while. I try to be well thought out with the shit that I say and my opinions and shit. So I caught the interview they did on Trail Boxing Talk. Great job by those brothers and the sister CC over there. I just caught the interview Blue Blood did with Mickey Bay, and I'm putting it all in my head, wrapping my head around it. Then we might do a live stream on it, bro, or we might do, you know what I'm saying? We might do a video on it. I don't know yet, but we definitely gonna address it. So we gotta address everything in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Tyrone Spencer up in the building. Salute Tyrone. Mac of the South. Brian Harkin, what's popping with you, Brian? Brian says, I love this Spence. I always said, get all the belts and then fight Bud. He a man in his word. He make me look like a prophet, Brian. He make me look like a prophet, bro. Like, I ain't even really, it ain't nothing, it ain't nothing for me to just say, hey, man, I'm riding with him because he don't be lying to me and shit. He tell me he gonna do some shit, then he do it. You know what I'm saying? Mac of the South in the building. Salute to you. The homie K-Rod done slid on up. What's popping with you, K-Rod? Let's see who else we got. I'm happy this fight happened to hell with the Bud sexuals. Damn. I don't even want to call them that, man. Listen, it's some Bud fans. I've been talking to them. Some of them cool. Some of them happy. Some of them chilling. You know what I'm saying? Some of them pissed off and they starting to float narratives around here. And we going to dead all this shit, give y'all some facts, give you some ammunition for my fellow Spence fans, and just boxing fans like me that just want to see the best for reasonable people. How about that? I'm gonna give my reasonable people out here something to cook on, something to chew on, so you can have a little bit of ammunition as you go into your boxing talk conversations with your friends, your family, other content creators and shit. If you hop on the panel, you can know how to address certain situations. Skinny Too Litty says his name the truth for a reason. God damn it, Skinny, you said something right there. Mr. Gumbo done came through. Salute, Mr. Gumbo. Salute to you, man. You always, come through, slowing support, laughing out loud. I know Mr. Gumbo is he be riding with Crawford. I think he got Crawford over Spence. I don't want to say he a Crawford fan, but I believe he done won a lot of money betting on Crawford, especially when Crawford beat the shit out of Sean Porter. I remember Mr. Gumbo from some of the brothers' channel like BFTB and all them. But salute to you, Mr. Gumbo. I appreciate you coming through, brother. Corbin Phoenix says Bud fans mad because they don't want him fighting Boots ever. Ha ha ha. Hey man, we're gonna see Terry Smoot Jr. in the building. You know what I'm saying? So let's first talk about what happened for those of y'all that's under a rock somewhere and don't know what's going on, don't know what's popping off. So long story short, Yordenis Ugas was ordered by the WBA to fight in a mandatory tournament. Now, I remember me, and if anybody want a link, I'll drop a link today. So just let me know if y'all want to hop on. I'll be willing to drop a link for people that I know. If I don't know you, then you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But if I know you, if we done chopped it up before, if I see you in here supporting the channel all the time, I will drop a link for you. So just let me know if y'all want to get it popping. But so for those y'all don't know, Ugas he was supposed to be fighting in the mandatory tournament ordered by the WBA, where he had to fight Stanionis, and then the winner of that fight had to fight the winner of Butayev and Jamal James. Jamal James got his ass whooped by Butayev, just like I told y'all he would. He stopped him like I said he would, right? And so Ugas was supposed to fight Stanionis. He kept making petition after petition after petition to the WBA. They kept turning them down. You know what I'm saying? They kept turning them down. They kept saying, nah, we ain't, I got you, K-Rod. They kept saying, nah, we not going to be able to do it. Drop this link. They said, nah, we're not gonna be able to do it. We are really just, dead set on getting people out of having all these belts. We don't want all these belts in our organization anymore. We want to get down to just one belt per division. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm cool with the one belt. But then you started seeing inconsistencies and discrepancies in their story, because while they were running around here mandating, let K-Rod in here. While they were running around, and salute K-Rod, how you doing? Let me fix the cam.
Hey, what's up, Knockout?
Not much, chilling, bro. Let me get through this, then I'll let you cook. While they were mandating, I'm just gonna mute you, K-Rod, because I hear a little bit of background, but I'll unmute you when it's your turn to speak, my brother. But so when they were running around here mandating Ugas to fight against Stanionis and then had to fight Butayev, I call bullshit. And you can go back and check the content. That's why you got to be objective, and that's why you got to keep a sound boxing mind and not be no fanboy shit. I was saying, look, man, that shit not right. And it's not right, number one, because Ugas just fought in August. Who in August of a certain year, you know what I'm saying, August 2021, he fights Manny Pacquiao. And then 2 months later in October, the WBA mandates Ugas to fight in a mandatory tournament. So they didn't give him one mandatory. They gave that man 2 mandatories, bro. They said, you got to fight Stanionis, then you got to fight the winner of Butayev and Jamal James. And then it's one thing, like, that's bullshit anyway, right? But what makes it even more bullshit is they was only doing the shit to Ugas. And then when you look up, you start looking around boxing, and, somebody like me that tries to look at as much stuff as possible, I'm looking around, I'm like, damn, bro, they doing Ugas dirty. This shit gonna tie up a bunch of divisions. But then I got up to middleweight, right? I got up to middleweight, and the middleweight champion, his name was Ryota Murata. Salute to Wbo in the building. Salute to, let me see, Corbin Phoenix. I see you, bro. I see you in the building, man. Y'all smash that like button as you come in. We ain't, this wasn't planned. So the more like buttons you smash, the more we'll get people in here. Let me throw this up here because your boy feeling good. Y'all know we got hold on. Bam, there's a new record. We got all 9 of our predictions right this week, bro. We got all 9 of our predictions right this week, so we feeling good. You see the Cash App down there. You see the prediction record, 179 right, only 38 wrong. I ain't bragging. These is facts. The videos are still up on the playlist. And then we got the super chat button down there. So if you can't hit the super chat, you know what I'm saying? If you can't hit the Cash App, just do your boy a favor. Do your boy a favor and smash the like button for me. It's free. Put your seatbelt on when you hop in the car. You riding in the car, You riding in the car with me, you know what I'm saying? We're doing this boxing talk, and you got to come through and you got to hang out, bro. Then we got the homie Mike Rhyme in the building. We got the homie Kevin Knight in the building. Kevin, I don't know if I told you at the end of the last stream, bro. I appreciate that Cash App you sent me. You know what I'm saying? From the stream this morning. I appreciate you, bro. I don't know if I said it at the end of the stream, but I did get it. I did reply to it, and I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for always supporting the channel. And salute to King David. King David, I got a link in there, bro. Hop on up here, man. Hop on up here if you can, bro. If you got time, you know you always welcome, my brother. And salute to King David coming through and showing some love to the channel. And so you got the in boxing matches with Dwayne Freeman, you know, you always welcome to. I got the link in the chat. Y'all let me know if I need to redrop that shit. So while we're looking at Ugas, I'm like, damn, they doing them dirty, right? And I had content up on the channel, and I told people, I said, look, bro, they doing Ugas dirty. I don't give a damn if Ugas fight Terence, Crawford, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. That man deserved to unify because he just defended his belt in August, and they ordered him to fight 2 mandatories, bro. In 2 mandatories in less than 2 months, right? In October. But meanwhile, up at 160 pounds, up in the middleweight division, you see Ryota Murata being allowed to unify with Triple G. And you're like, damn, so you get to unify at middleweight, but you don't get to unify down at welterweight? That's messed up. To make it even more messed up, you go look at Ryota Murata. Homie ain't fought since 2019, bro. He been out the ring for 2 years. So I'm like, oh, hell no. So I start tweeting and shit. I'm making videos and shit. And Yordenis Ugas liked my tweet. He liked a few of my tweets where I was like, yo, they doing them dirty. Gilberto Mendoza, I'm just going off, bro. I'm on Twitter. I'm going off. And it goes to show that they rules, bro. All these rules and shit, man, they really don't mean nothing. And salute to C. Coolidge in the building. Salute to New Breed in the building. Salute to Corbin Phoenix yet again. And salute to Mr. Gumbo in that super chat. Let me catch it real quick. It says, and he got that $5 in there for you, boy. I appreciate you, Mr. Gumbo. Thank you. He said, I want to make something clear. Some of Spence 2 are weird as blank. I just want to see the fight. I run my own business and watch my own money. And I respect that, Mr. Gumbo. And I've heard you talk on panels. I read your comments and shit because I rock heavy with guys like BFTB and other places I've seen you, bro. And you always you on one accord. You keep that same energy all the time. So I ain't mad at that. And I believe you when you say that shit. And if anybody in here got Crawford watching Spence in the fight, I ain't mad at that. I don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, bro. So the thing with the Ugas situation was like, it's just not fair, bro, and it's not right. And I'm glad that they came back and made the right decision. But this proves that these rules and shit miss me with the old Canelo was mandated to do this or Tank was mandated to do that. G5, I'll drop the link if you wanna hop on. Just let me know, bro. I'll drop the link for you. For anybody that want to drop on, and salute to T-Bone Boxing coming through as well. Y'all keep smashing that like as you come in here, man. Spam that mug. Smash the like, smash the like. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, how can this be right? Like, this ain't boxing. Like, we supposed to be wanting to get one step closer to undisputed. And so the overall decision, let me catch a super chat from Lori Reed. I appreciate that $10 in the super chat. She says, great prediction from someone who knows boxing. And she damn sure know boxing. So I appreciate that. I take that as a huge compliment. G5 gave, as I said, is in the building. T-Bone in the building. Let me read a couple of these comments, then we'll keep cooking. They was picking on Ugas because the boxing execs is so out of touch with real boxing that they thought Ugas ain't have a chance. Yeah, they ain't no shit if they thought he ain't have a chance against Pacquiao. He effed up their plans. Big facts, bro. New Breed says, Bud promoter told Hearn that Haney signed with the wrong promoter to get the undisputed fight with Loma and Lopez. Don't think for a minute if Bud had Spence options, he wouldn't do the same thing. Big facts, bro. Big facts. You got to, I mean, you're going to do what's in your best interest. He says, I got you. I'm going live in about 2 hours. Yeah, bro, just let me know. Here, I'll drop it again. I'll drop it again for you, brother. Just in case. All right, and so now we get to the fight being made. The WBA makes their decision, and then Ugas comes in and he's able to fight Errol Spence. I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to hog the mic from K-Rod. Although this is my show, I can talk how long I want to, but I ain't gonna do the brother like that. So let's stop right there. K-Rod, don't get into Ugas versus Spence. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about that. Just talk about the WBA and how you feel about their decision to go ahead and let Ugas unify.
I think it was a good idea. I mean, you know, the WBA, they should have been listened to the fans and the consumers because If anything, it's like, why would we want to see Ugas lose or potentially lose to two fighters that never deserve to get a title shot in the first place? Because Butev, as far as I know, he was not even a top 10 welterweight coming into the welterweight division, as well as Imantas Stanionis. As far as I know, he beat a number 14 guy as he was a number 10 guy in the WBA rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for some weird reason, they bumped him all the way up to being like a top 3 or top 5 welterweight. But still, it still just shows to you why the WBA is very corrupt, and they never really cared about boxing in the first place. They only care about
Mm-hmm.
fights that are politically favored in their own direction. So they'll go as far to say, well, if EJ wants to unify with our champion Ugas, well, screw you. We're going to basically make Ugas lose, and then you know the winner of this mini tournament can go ahead and fight EJ. But obviously, that's never going to happen because the WBA is going to play keep away to try to say, well, you got to go through all these hoops and loops before you get to that level. And I
Mm-hmm.
found that absolutely disgusting and very evil because the WBA has done that plenty of times in the past, leading up until now. And I'm glad that they're finally listening to the audience because I say at some point in time the WBA should be boycotted to non-existence.
Damn, I ain't mad at that take at all. Dwayne Freeman, Dwayne, salute to you, bro. Appreciate you coming through. Um, Go ahead and get your thoughts on this. We're not getting to the. Well, I'm gonna start talking about the whole Spence and Ugas thing, but just talk about your reaction to the decision that the WBA made. Did they get it right? Should they have kept Ugas in that tournament? What's your thoughts on the decision now that it's come down that they're gonna go ahead and let them fight for the unification?
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, man.
Already,
My
bro.
whole my whole thing is I'm glad they made the decision. They got it right because the decision to try to get rid of all of those belts that they had in the boxing was to make the sport better, and it's only right to go ahead and let them unify. Is for the betterment of the sport, and that's
Facts.
what everybody want to see. They want to see a one champion. So when they was had Ugas in the tournament, it was preventing us to see that one champion. So they absolutely got it right by changing their decision and allowing Ugas and Spence to go ahead and fight for that one champion.
Salute Mo Boxing in the building. Salute to you, bro. That's all you got?
Yeah, yeah, man. That's all I got.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm gonna keep this thing moving. So now we get to the fight being made between Spence and between Ugas. And here's my thing. So this is what I'm starting to hear. I ain't saying Mr. Gumbo doing this because I ain't heard him say this, and he just made it clear he just wants to see the fight. He don't give a damn, right? Here's what I'm starting to hear. Now I'm starting to hear people say that Spence is ducking Terence Crawford by taking on Ugas instead. And I'm gonna point out the fallacies and why that's not true. And then I'm gonna let these two brothers get their opinion on it. And we'll keep the show moving along because again, we're not gonna be up here too long today. Just pop up and give y'all my thoughts, initial thoughts now that the news has come down. So here's my thing when you say that. So I want people to understand that this fight is so far, all the reports are coming out that this fight is going to go down in February, March, or April. Since 2018, Bud Crawford has only had one fight that he's taken on less than a 6 months notice, and that was the fight between fighting Jeff Horn, and then he fought Jose Benavidez that same year, about 4 or 5 months later. Since then, it's always been at least 7 to 8 months in between this fight. So he just fought on November. Let's say that Spence and Ugas is going down in February, right? You got November, December, January, February. That's 3 months. Who really believe Bud Crawford gonna take a Errol Spence fight with 3 months? And then your retort to me will be, well, knockout. What if they fighting in March? They ain't even fighting in February. All right, cool. Bud Crawford fought in November, December, January, February, March. If the fight between Ugas and Spence is in March, that means Terence Bud Crawford would only have 4 months. 4 months to prepare for a fight with Errol Spence. Does anybody really believe that Terence Bud Crawford is going to fight Spence with a 4 months notice? All right. Let's say that the fight is in April. That would have only given Terence Bud Crawford 5 months to prepare. It's the same notion and the same thing I was saying when people were telling me, yo, Tank is ducking Devin Haney. Devin Haney want that smoke. He willing to step in for Rolly Romero. You really think Devin Haney is willing to take on Tank Davis? You think his team going to put him in a position and sign a fight for him to fight Tank Davis with 3 or 4 weeks notice? The shit's unrealistic. That's a big-ass fight. That's not happening. Ain't nobody fighting the biggest fight in boxing. This, like, make no mistake about it. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, to me, is definitely the biggest fight in the welterweight division, but it's big. It's the biggest fight in boxing to me too. And ain't nobody taking on a fight of that magnitude with 3, 4, 5 months to prepare. That's just unrealistic. And so this whole notion that now Spence is ducking Terence Bud Crawford, that's just crazy to me. So make sure y'all write that down, take those notes, and you share that with people when they try to come at you with that narrative. The other thing is Spence is keeping his word to us as fans, bro. He told everybody. The receipts are still out there on the internet if you care to look them up. He told Terence Crawford to his face, bro, I'm going to get all these belts. Once I get these belts, I'm coming to holler at you, bro. And then once I come holler at you, if you ain't talking about nothing over here, I'm going to move up to 154. That's what he said he was going to do. And the man is doing just that. Was there a detour here and there because of a car wreck, because of an injury, because Manny Pacquiao came calling? Yeah, because Manny Pacquiao is the man. You be a fool if your name is Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Yordenis Ugas, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, whoever you are. You a fool not to take Manny Pacquiao fight because that'll be the most legacy name on your resume. And also it will get you the biggest bag of your career, straight up and down, for most fighters, for all the fighters that I mentioned at the very least. So this notion that Spence is doing something wrong because he's saving Bud Crawford for last, I mean, I wholeheartedly disagree with that, because you could say he's saving the best for last. You could say he keeping his word. You could say he only saving Terence Bud Crawford for last because he think he may lose the fight. I don't care what you say, bro. But the fact of the matter is, the man is doing step by step exactly what he told us he was going to do. And in a sport where there's so much lies, right? Where you have Ryan Garcia's out here capping his ass off, right? You have Teofimo Lopez lying left and right. You got two of the most powerful people in boxing in Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn lying left and right. You have sanctioning body presidents changing their mind like the weather. Mauricio Suleiman just like, man, shit, bro. Fuck that anti-doping shit. I don't care about anti-doping. You go ahead and fight Oscar Valdez. You got Gilberto Mendoza like, you know what? Yeah, we gonna do this, but now we change our mind. We stripping Manny Pacquiao, and we told him he was stripping him. Manny like, y'all ain't say shit. Oh yeah, my bad. We sorry, Manny. We really didn't tell you shit. Like all these lies going around in boxing, right? How can we not respect a fighter that does what he says he's gonna do, bro? The man said, look, I'm gonna do XYZ, and he's doing XYZ. And so me personally, as a boxing fan, that, like, you can talk about fighting styles, you can talk about Spence being from Dallas, Texas, you can talk about all that shit. But for me personally, what I respect most and what I like the most about how Errol Spence carries himself is I like that when he say something, I can pretty much take him at his word and I can believe what he's saying. If he say, because remember he said, yo, I got the winner. He said, that's all right. I'll be back for the winner. And who he back for? Who he coming back to fight? He said, this eye injury, I done came back from worse. I'm coming back to fight the winner, bro. I'm coming back to fight the winner of this fight between Pacquiao and Ugas. Who he fighting? The man is doing what he said he was going to do every single step of the way, bro. So to me, as a boxing fan, unless you just on some Errol Spence hater shit, unless you just on some Terence Crawford fanboy shit, as a boxing fan, to me, that shit is to be respected. Let me catch up in the chat, and then we'll pass it to K-Rod and let him give his take on the whole situation. All right, Corbin. What Corbin talking about? It says Spence ducking wild. Bud fans got a lot in common with Bud. They do and say shit that makes no sense, business and otherwise, and they blame everyone but Bud for the bullshit he does. Damn. Spirit says, had Crawford been with the PBC, it wouldn't matter. He wanted to go after the WBO belt last. Big facts. Big facts. Mo Boxing, salute to you again, bro. He says, I was just watching Bud on IFL TV. How can Ramona say he don't sell when he's the voice of the party? Man. We got Bo Bowl in here. He says, man, this McDonald's went through a whole 3-week renovation, but you still can't get a milkshake. All right, bro. Let's see here. When Jeff Horn had the belt, Spence was not calling him out. He was just focused on Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia mainly. Facts, bro. Facts. All he just wants the easier fights that are easy to make business with, bro. If I already got a belt over here, that's what I want, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's what I want. It's easy to do business. And then like it's smart business, bro. Like I'm gonna go get leverage, bro. You already trying to tell me that I don't deserve 60-40. You already talking about some 50-50 and no fight. Let me get this third belt and come back to the table. Let me do another pay-per-view that's better than the one that you just did on top of the 3 that I already did that's better than the one that you just did. Let me do all of that, and then I'm going to come back and see you later. Bro. We got Opulent LD in the building with the $5 in the super chat. Says, Pastor Knockout Boxing 86 TV preaching the sermon. I'm just trying to talk facts, bro. Teron Harris says, wrong. He called out Jeff Horn after he called out Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia. He wanted those fights first. Was the overall point that we was trying to make, bro. He wanted those fights first, fam. He wanted Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter first. Then he wanted to see Jeff Horn. The order ain't changed just because it was Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford fans act like, oh, man, he didn't start wanting the WBO belt last until Crawford got the WBO belt. Wrong, bro. Wrong. He always wanted to clean up his side first. Then he wanted to go see Bob Arum and them because Bob Arum and them are trash at doing business. Terence Crawford told you himself. He said they couldn't get him to fights. But y'all neglect all that shit and you don't want to talk about it, bro. But let's go to K-Rod. K-Rod, what you got on all this, man? Spence ducking, bro? Is Spence ducking? What's going on, man?
Hell no. But yeah, to further elaborate, Errol Spence is a very smart businessman. Ever since he won the IBF against Kell Brook, he did everything correctly. Why not make your in-house fights first and then go after the other sides of the streets second, so that way you can make the most out of your dollar. So that way, when it's time for you to go for undisputed, you already have more leverage coming to the business table. Because it wouldn't make any damn sense for Errol Spence to try to go after Jeff Horn after beating Kell Brook to say, hey, let me go fight you. And then what? He can fight Keith Thurman or whoever that was there at the time to, basically chase for undisputed faster. That doesn't make any sense. So EJ did everything correctly from the business angle. And it's not really ducking because if EJ was ducking, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have unified with Sean Porter. He wouldn't have unified with anybody else leading up to that time frame. And Terence Crawford, he probably would have taken all the credit for, chasing for undisputed. So if anything, Errol Spence is doing everything correctly. And Terence Crawford, he basically sat on the sidelines while EJ is doing most of what the heavy lifting for the welterweight division.
Bet, bro. Good points. Dwayne, what you got on this, bro?
Man, EJ
real quick, my bad, Dwayne. Teron Harris, look, bro, you entitled to your opinion, and I don't have no issue with that. I got the link in the chat, homie. You more than welcome to come up. Ain't nobody gonna mute you. Ain't nobody gonna block you. You can get your shit off in here, bro. You ain't gotta do all that typing. Just let me know if you want the link, homie. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah, like I was saying, man, everything you said is absolutely correct. EJ, he hasn't ducked nobody since he came into boxing. And what people fail to realize is, or fail to remember is, EJ was going for Ugas for the third belt. The only reason why he got sidetracked was because Mandy came into the picture, and so he was going for the big bag. He still had Ugas on that side, so he was like, let me get this big bag because I don't know how long Manny's going to be around, and I could still come back and get that belt and then go after Terence Crawford. So that was the only reason why he got sidetracked, but he ended up getting a torn retina in his eye. So he's not ducking by no sense of the means. He's not ducking. And like I said, it would have been Terence Crawford, but like you stated before, Terence Crawford has not taken a fight under a 6-month notice. And Terence Crawford is still asking for 50-50. So he's like, I'm not even going to go ahead and try to change his mind. Let me go get this third belt while he's still asking for 50-50. And then we can come back to the table then and see if anything changed. So he's not ducking. He's still doing what he said he was going to do. He said it way back in 2017, and he's still standing by everything he said.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. And salute to Loyal to the Game Boxing. Key, I got the link in the chat. Let me know if you want it. I'll drop it again, bro. Loyal to the Game. Kwame, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, family?
Oh man, just chilling. I figured I'd hop in the way real quick and talk about the big news for a little bit. Appreciate you hopping on, man. But so I wanted to get your take on this, man. So we first we talked about the WBA's overall decision. So let me know if you agree with it or disagree with it. In terms of them letting Ugas unify and not do the mandatory tournament. And then I'm hearing a lot of people talk about Spence ducking Crawford now all of a sudden. So let me know your thoughts on those two things if you could, man.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the whole WBA mandatory tournament was kind of just crazy. Like the way it was even set up. How people got placed. I remember. I think BF had did a live stream and he showed the rankings. It was like number 9 for it, number 14 somehow wound up being number 1. I mean, it just none of it really was structured correctly to me. It was all pretty weird. I don't know if it was just an agenda for them to, maybe leverage a position or something. I don't know. But from what I could tell, didn't seem too legit to me. And then the second thing is, don't unifications trump mandatories anyway?
Always have, bro. That's what they tell us. It's boxing
So,
fans. Always
right.
have.
So that was the confusing part, like them going into arbitration and the decision to be made and all this announcement, and no, they rejected it, and boots is mandatory, and it's just the whole situation was just erratic to me, to be quite honest. Am I happy that this fight is happening? Absolutely, because I feel this is the fastest way to the end result of what everyone's been talking about and wanting
Which
to
is
see.
Crawford and Spence. Facts, bro. Keep cooking. Keep cooking, bro.
Because from this is what I don't understand, right? Like if we just be factual, right? Errol Spence didn't get any of the top welterweights to fight him without a mandatory, which I'm talking about. He had to get a mandatory just to get Kell Brook. He didn't posture himself, whatever the split was. He was willing to do whatever. He wanted the belt. He didn't care if he had to go overseas. He didn't care it was a 75-25 split at that time with the IBF. He went over there, handled his business. He got his belt.
That's a common theme. That's a common theme, ain't it though, Kwame? Didn't Floyd Mayweather have to not give a damn? Didn't he have to not give a damn with Oscar De La Hoya to become the man?
Facts. I mean, just to break into the pay-per-view market, he had to not give a damn against Arturo Gatti, who he was light years ahead of in terms of, quote unquote, they like to use the word accolades and how many weight classes he went through and being, a top pound for pound fighter.
Yeah.
The fight that presented itself was Arturo Gatti. He had to fight him in Atlantic City, which was Arturo Gatti's home, and he took less money. It wasn't much, but he took less because he knew what the end result was. He had a goal bigger than his own ego. So my thing is with Spence, if you remember the press conference with his first title defense, he beats Kell Brook, and then he goes to fight Lamont Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Hunter also stated in that press conference that if it wasn't for if the other guys would have stepped up, Lamont Peterson wouldn't even been there. Lamont Peterson had to in order to fight Errol Spence, had to vacate the WBA regular belt. He had just won that belt previously. He had to vacate the title just to take the fight with Errol Spence. Right?
Fact.
You asked about Sean Porter. Keith Thurman was out on injury for forever. Sean Porter said Spence wasn't on his radar, even though he had just lost to IBF to Kell Brook. He said Spence wasn't on his radar. Danny Garcia never even would mention Errol Spence's name. You know what I'm saying? So it just never, those fights never manifested. The big fights he wanted at 147 looked like those guys were trying to keep a round robin between themselves to recycle themselves. And once it was, once Spence became the pay-per-view guy, and also they noticed that he didn't knock Mikey Garcia out, because I didn't think that these guys are fighters. I'm not gonna say that they were scared of Errol Spence back then. I would say they were scared of how they were going to lose to him back then. That's when he was on a knockout streak and everything and brutalizing people. You know what I'm saying? So, so real quick, the last two fights that he's fought are two fighters at 147 that he asked to fight before Terence Crawford even moved up to the weight class. Think about
That's
that.
true.
Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, two fighters that Errol Spence was asking to make fights with before Terence Crawford even came into the weight class. You know what I'm saying? So now he said that he's always said from the beginning he was going to clean up his side of the street. People perverted that. You know what I'm saying? He said he's going to get the 3 belts. He's going to get the 3rd belt. The fight is a whole lot bigger when it's for all the marbles against Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. It's a bigger fight. You got to think Terence Crawford, that's a history-making fight. Terence Crawford, 140-pound champion, undisputed champion, moves up to 147 to win undisputed at welterweight from junior welterweight. That's huge. The issue has always been is that PBC had the leverage because they had 3 of the 4 belts. And they were going to do everything that they wanted to do inside their own organization, which is what they're supposed to do, right? Because I'm pretty sure if McDonald's is making good money, they're not worried about what money Burger King's making. It's not their
Yeah, and they
job.
damn sure not gonna do them no favors. And real quick, Cameron, I see you in the background. Cameron, just turn your camera on real quick for me. Let me see you. Just want to make sure you ain't a troll or nothing, bro. Oh, he hopped off. But Cameron, you more than welcome to hop back on, bro. Just turn your camera on real quick. Let me see you. Then once I see you, you can turn your camera off, and I'll let you come up here and cook. Just if I haven't seen you before, bro, I want to make sure I can see your face and stuff, and then you can turn your camera off. But go ahead, Kwame, and then I'm gonna get to the next, bro.
Yeah. So the Ugas fight is great because if Errol Spence says something other than Terence Bud Crawford after he beats Ugas, then what these so-called narratives that have been going on for years, there'll be some legitimacy to it. Because there's no one else to fight after Ugas, besides Terence Crawford. But
Fact.
if we're looking at it realistically, Terence Crawford don't even have his business affairs in order yet to make a big fight like that. I mean,
unless he go over to somebody else, he don't have a network, he don't have a promoter. Like that's a good point because if he the A side and he make an offer to somebody, where they fighting at?
Right. So and that's the point. It's like the closest thing that he has set up right now is doing something with Bob Arum because they're just familiar, which would be Josh Taylor, because Eddie Hearn don't want to touch him. You know what I'm saying? Who else got welterweight?
Real quick. See Coolidge, let me know what's not true, bro. Elaborate for me, and then I'll put it up on the screen and we can address it. But just let me know what you're talking about. See, go ahead, though, Kwame.
You know what I'm saying? Bob, Eddie Hearn already said he's not interested. Bob Arum, anytime you ask him about the Spence fight, he automatically just gets upset about it because he knew after the whole thing with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury going to court that he had no chance of making a fight with PBC with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. We're talking about Bob Arum. It was never going to happen. After that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. It was never going to happen. So, look, I feel like we're getting everything that we want at this point, and it's on Terence Crawford now to make decisions for his own career. He don't have Bob. He got to make his own decisions for his own career or who he wants to fight, what direction he wants to go, and we have to respect it. I mean, the end result just needs to lead to making a fight, and when the fight presents itself, I can't tell a man what to take and what not to take. He need to take the 60-40. I'm just saying, be realistic. Be realistic about your situation and making a fight. Make the best possible deal for yourself in making a fight. If you could get 55, if you could get it to be a 55-45 split, and get a rematch clause. If you win, that you control the go. These are things, but you need to be able to sit at the table and at least negotiate these things and not just say, 50-50 no, or 60-40 my way or no fight, and you don't have any data to substantiate your claim of that, being realistic for you. So
let me not to cut you off, Kwame. Let me go to G5 game, man. I want to try to keep the show moving because I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm gonna get to, and I'm gonna come back to you, bro. G5, what's popping?
What's good, my boy Knockout? What's good, K Ride? What's good, Kwame?
Salute,
What's good,
G5.
Hey, what's up, G5?
Chilling, bro. What you got on this shit so far, man? Because I'm about to get to the Terence Crawford side of things, but I want to give you a chance, G5, since you just hopped on. What you got on this whole situation, man? What's your overall take right now as the news breaks and kind of everything settles in, brother?
Well, I mean, I'm glad the WBA got it right, man. Simply because we shouldn't even had this delay in this whole fight to begin with. It should have been a green light go ahead to begin with. But I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they got it right and rather than put Ugas in a tournament, you know what I'm saying, when he actually beat the man for the super belt. And why would he have to go defend it like he is a regular champ or something? So I'm glad they got it right. We one step closer to undisputed. God willing, you know what I'm saying? After this fight, either way it go, PBC is fine because whether Errol wins or Ugas wins, the belt still is gonna be with PBC. So either way it goes, they still gonna have 3 belts under one branch. So it's still gonna be what is Team Crawford gonna do. So I'm glad they made the decision, man. We need it for boxing, man. It was too many hurdles and loopholes. If they would have made Ugas actually go through this little tournament, after he proved that he was worthy to be a champ. So I'm glad, what I'm saying, boxing needed this. The boxing guys trying to write stuff. So, I'm with it. It's good news that we can use, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. And so you touched on something I'm gonna segue to. So Terence Crawford, I see y'all in the chat. I saw somebody put Keith Thurman in there. I saw somebody put Josh Taylor in there. I think both of those are bad options. And so we want to start discussing now that this fight is made, now that we know Errol Spence is gonna be taking on Yordenis Ugas sometime between February and April. That's what the reports are saying. Now that we know that's happening, I want to talk about what Terence Crawford should be doing. What can he do in the meantime while he's waiting on Spencer? So here's my take on it, right? So the Josh Taylor shit. If you Terence Crawford, you had to be an absolute utter fool. And I don't mean no disrespect. You got to be a fool to try to fight Josh Taylor. Let me explain to y'all why. So Bob Arum is saying that he'll do a Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor fight on a 1-fight deal. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying he's willing to do. Number one, if it's Bob Arum we talking about, he also said that Tyson Fury was fully vaccinated. He also told us that. So I don't know how much I believe him, right? So if you Terence Crawford, you may have to do a multiple fight deal just to get that Josh Taylor fight. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if he is telling the truth and he is willing to do a 1-fight deal with you to take on Josh Taylor, you need a knockout, right? He gonna try to screw you over, right? He ain't risking Josh Taylor. He not just gonna feed Josh Taylor to you to continue to build your name up. And even if you do sign back to Top Rank just to get the Josh Taylor fight, who has Bob Arum showed that he likes to promote more throughout his tenure as a promoter? Does he prefer to promote the minority fighter? Does he like losing money and promoting the minority fighter to the audience and the fan base that the minority fighter has? Or does he like to promote people that look like Josh Taylor better? Did he get Shakur Stevenson a championship title shot when he was undefeated after 2 fights? No, but you know what he did? He got Vasily Lomachenko an interim championship title shot in his very first fight. Then in his second fight, Vasily Lomachenko lost to Salido. And you know what his reward was for starting off his career with 1 win and 1 loss? He got a title shot against Gary Russell Jr. for a vacant belt. So you mean to tell me if you Terence Crawford, you gonna take a chance? You gonna take a chance fighting Josh Taylor under Bob Arum? And knowing, number one, Josh Taylor can fight. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you think they rooting for you? You think they feeding a undisputed 140-pound champion to you for you to look good and for you to win? So that's why I don't think Josh Taylor is a good option for him. And salute to Hawaiian Punch. Salute to a condo in the building. Salute to Macadon One. Everybody coming through. Y'all smash the like button as you come in here, man. We cooking. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first point. That's why Josh Taylor, I wouldn't do it if I was Terence Bud Crawford on no one fight deal, like, or a multiple fight deal, none of that shit. Bob Arum is extremely petty. He's extremely spiteful. And bro, he will, like, you wouldn't only be fighting Bob Arum. Josh Taylor's good friends with Fury. Who's to know you won't be fighting a certain type of glove and shit? Like, I don't know how we know you won't be fighting a certain type of glove or a certain type of, clenbuterol and all kind of shit. Like, I don't know, bro. I wouldn't fight no goddamn Josh Taylor if I was Terence Bud Crawford, not under Top Rank. After how you just left them, you publicly embarrassed Bob Arum. He ain't let that shit go. He can act like he let that shit go. He'll try to build Josh Taylor right off your back if you let him. So I wouldn't do that shit if I was Terence Bud Crawford. And then furthermore, if we just look at the logistics of it, Josh Taylor already got a fight February 26, 2022. He already got a fight in February. He gonna need 7, 8, 9 months to get ready for you if you Terence Bud Crawford. So that's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So he won't be ready to fight you till like September at the best, October, November at the latest. Then we don't even get to see Spencer Crawford in 2022. And so if you Terence Crawford and you really want to fight Errol Spence, why would you wait around on Josh Taylor, who already got a fight in February? Now let's go to the Keith Thurman side of things, right? They saying Keith Thurman is a good opponent. I've heard people say that, not only here in the chat, but I've heard people, as this news is broke, they saying they want to see him fight Keith Thurman. Well, Keith Thurman is already fighting Mario Barrios, all right? That's either going to be at the end of January or at the beginning of February. And if you Keith Thurman, or if you Terence Crawford, I should say, you really want to fight Keith Thurman, bro, you really want to fight somebody that's had 4 fights in 6 years, you and your fans are already talking about you don't get enough credit. If Keith Thurman looked horrible against Barrios, will still escape with the win, I mean, what does that fight do for you? And again, Keith Thurman, do you trust him to fight twice in 1 year? This man has fought 4 times in 6 years. You really trust Keith Thurman to fight 2 times in 1 year? Because I don't. So what if you wait around on Keith Thurman and then come March or April, he like, yeah, I need another break. You know what I'm saying? I got an elbow injury or a wrist injury or some bullshit like that. Like, what if that happened? What if that happened? Like, I don't trust that shit, man. I don't trust that one bit. So I don't like the Keith Thurman fight. It's 2 options. And it's crazy and it's ironic that the 2 best options for Bud Crawford are the options that him and his fans were trying to put on Errol Spence. Remember, I listened to everything. Oh, man, Errol Spence backed into a corner. That was the narrative. That's what y'all was saying. He backed into a corner. He ain't got nowhere to go. He got to see Boots. He got to see Virgil Ortiz. Or he got to see Bud Crawford. He ain't got nowhere to go but to those 3 people. Have y'all looked at the WBO rankings? I have, at the welterweight division. You got Virgil Ortiz right there at 1, and then you got Jerron Boots Ennis right up under him, bro. You got Jerron Boots Ennis right up under him. So if you Terence Bud Crawford, you got 2 options. 2 very good options. You can either fight Virgil Ortiz Jr., or you can fight Jerron Boots Ennis, or you can wait. Or you can wait on Earl. You got options. I just want to see if his fans, want a Terence Crawford versus Jerron Boots Ennis fight as bad as they wanted an Errol Spence versus Jerron Boots Ennis fight. And then this is the last thing, and I want to pass it to K-Rod, and we'll go around. We'll go K-Rod, we'll go Dwayne, we'll go Kwame, and we'll go back to G5, and I'm gonna leave it at this. I find it very, very strange that I heard some of the same people. Oh man, we don't want Terence Crawford to fight Errol Spence right off of the eye injury, because Errol Spence fans ain't gonna do shit but make excuses. Errol Spence fans ain't gonna do nothing but use an excuse for the eye injury. We want him to have a tune-up. Why can't he fight Boots and then fight Bud? That's what I was hearing a lot of. But now that it look like the tune-up gonna be another champion that might give him more leverage, that might be a big fight that's gonna give him 3 belts instead of 2. Now all of a sudden, Now all of a sudden, oh man, he ducking. Why don't he just fight Bud? Why he gotta fight? Why he gotta go fight Yordenis Ugas? Funny how things change, bro. Funny how things change. Yeah, Nitty G, they gonna try, but just go back, replay the video because they gonna try to say he ducking, and then I got some good points for you to throw back at him that they can't really refute. I'm just wondering where all the fans that wanted Terence Crawford, Errol Spence to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. I wanted to do those same fans want Terence Crawford to fight him as well. You know, I'm just trying to see what's up, what done changed, why the change in energy. Because see, I believe in my guy. I told y'all from the jump, look, man, I got 3 fights. I got 3 fights for you. If you Errol Spence Jr., if Yordenis Ugas ain't available, you need to be fighting Terence Crawford. That's the fight I want first. Or if the WBC or the IBF enforce a mandatory on you. The only way I want to see you fight Ugas is if that belt is on the line. And the energy don't change, bro. He said he want champions. That's what I'm holding him to. He get his ass whooped by Ugas. I ain't making no excuses for his eye. None of that shit, bro. We got to keep the same energy for these fighters, man. But anyway, let's go to K-Rod. K-Rod, what should be next for Terence Crawford? I maintain it should be Virgil Ortiz or Jerron Boots Ennis. Those are the best 2 options in my opinion. But what you got?
I think the same too. I think Jerron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz are big money fights. I'd probably say that probably Boots and Crawford is actually pay-per-view worthy, honestly. Just mainly because, like, you know, if you have that fight down in Philadelphia for Boots, or if you want to do the same thing with Virgil down in Texas, Crawford can definitely make a lot of traction if he beats either of those guys. So I think Crawford should go towards that direction, just to stay sharp and active. So that way, by the time when Errol Spence is done with his fight, you know, Crawford and EJ can be primed and ready to fight for undisputed.
Already. And salute to Demetrius Bright. I see you in the building. And salute to Not Me with that $2 in the super chat. He says Ugas is still a good fight, but I'm disappointed. Let me say this, and then we're gonna go to Dwayne. I don't know why about, like, not me, and I ain't just talking about you, but people seem disappointed. Like, if we disappointed with all the bullshit boxing been giving us, bro, how the hell we gonna be disappointed in unification fights? Like, we gotta make up our mind, bro. Like, this may not be the best fight in the welterweight division or the fight that we all wanted, but at the end of the day, we disappointed in unification fights now. And I appreciate the $2 in the super chat, and you always support the channel. But I'm not gonna be disappointed in champions fighting each other when I know that both champions have been tested. Like, Ugas ain't no pushover, bro. He beat Sean Porter in my eyes, first of all, and then he just beat Manny Pacquiao. He coming off a great win, the best win of his career. So I'm not disappointed in that fight, especially considering the fact, again, the timing of this fight. Bud Crawford wouldn't be ready anyway, bro. And Spence can't be out the ring 2 years going to fight Terence Bud Crawford. I mean, this is the best possible option, the only other champion in the division, if you really think about it, bro. Because Spence had to fight. Like, he can't just wait. What you want him to do? Take off a whole 2 years and then fight Terence Crawford at the end of 2022 with no nothing? That's what y'all wanted? I was cool with it as long as Crawford and Spence were fighting in Spence's very next fight, but I ain't mad at this. How can we be mad at this? This is a unification fight. We got to big up unifications, undisputeds, all that shit, man. Otherwise, the belts don't mean shit, and the best fighters fighting each other don't mean shit, in my opinion. But Dwayne Freeman, what you got, man? What you think should be next for Terence Crawford? Who should he be fighting next, man?
Man, I'm right there with you. I've been saying that from the beginning. If Terence Crawford was to fight Josh Taylor, if he didn't get a knockout, he was going to get robbed, because Bob Arum was not letting that belt go nowhere, and he thought that Terence Crawford would have had a change of heart after the Porter fight and signed back with him. And then when Terence Crawford embarrassed him on the stage, that's why he's been pushing for Josh Taylor and Terence Crawford to get that belt back. But me personally, I think the next fight that Terence Crawford should have, and basically, I guess, try to shut up all the criticism of him, is to fight Boots, because I think he will beat Ortiz, because Ortiz is a similar style to Sean Porter. He doesn't box and he doesn't really move. He's right there for Terence Crawford to hit. But far as Boots is a similar style to Terence Crawford, and he's a more active fighter, and that would give him more recognition by him beating Boots. Now it's a tough fight. I don't know. I would edge Terence Crawford just because he's a veteran, but he's not going to walk through Boots. So I would say that would be the next best fight for him to take. Will be Boots, not no Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman been out of the ring too long, and I've been saying that for a while. I was like, Keith Thurman been out of the ring too long. You're not going to get no praise off of beating Keith Thurman for being out of the ring for 2 years. So
30
I think
months.
he should fight Boots next.
30 months. He been out the ring for 30 damn months.
Right,
man.
almost 3 years. 6 more months would be 3 years. He been out of the ring, so he wouldn't get no praise for that. So I think he should fight Boots next, which I don't think he's going to do it. But Boots done already called him out, so that should be his next best fight.
I got you, and I feel you, not me. I see what you posted, bro. Yeah, I understand that side of it. Like, yeah, that's the fight we want to see, and we want to get that shit over with. Seem like I've been talking about Spence versus Crawford since I started my damn YouTube channel. Let's go to Kwame. Kwame, what you got on this whole Crawford? What should be next for him? Who you want to see him fight next, bro?
I gotta agree with the brother before me, man. Look, I'd like to see him versus Boots, because I think stylistically it's a great fight in terms of the attributes they both bring into the ring. You know, they both could switch. They both had the same arm reach. They're both black athletic fighters, and that would be the fight I want to see. Now, the issue with that fight is I honestly think Boots will fuck the money up. That's me personally. I don't think Terence Crawford will be able to stand up to Boots' power. I think Boots' power is very underrated. Terence Crawford Jerron Boots Ennis is a physically bigger man than Terence Crawford, is what a lot of times I try to get people to see that. And when people say, oh, well, who did Boots beat, or, you know, whatever. Well, I mean, the reality was like, who did Jose Benavidez beat to get a fight with Terence Crawford? You know?
And then that's facts, because you got one fighter that's in his mid-30s that's finishing up his career at welterweight. Then you got another fighter that's in his early 20s that's starting his career at welterweight. So that tell you who's bigger right there. But go ahead, bro.
All right. So, you know, Mean Machine became a mandatory after having a draw with Ray Robinson that was very controversial. A lot of people thought he didn't win the fight. You know, so I think any of the top guys that's available, I don't want to see Josh Taylor for the same reason you said, because I feel like that just would be a very unintelligent move to me, and in my opinion, for Terence Crawford.
Bro, you setting yourself up to get played, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Setting yourself up to get played, bro.
They want think about the same logic with Manny Pacquiao. When Manny Pacquiao was on his way out the door, they made Manny Pacquiao, who's the A side to any welterweight, except for Floyd Mayweather at that time, was forced to fight in Australia against Jeff Horn. His home crowd, everything. We saw how that turned out, whether it was close or whatever. And Terence Crawford, same situation. You pretty much embarrassed Bob Arum and say you couldn't get me to fight. I'm moving on my career and all that. And then if you go back to him, you deserve everything you get, because that's, you know what, that's like a female cheating on you, or a female saying some real crazy shit to you in an argument that's almost like unforgivable, and then you go back. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have no respect for you. They're gonna do whatever they want to do to you. You know what I'm saying? And basically, in that situation with Josh Taylor, I don't want to see him fight someone who's moving up in weight. You're the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. You know, I don't want to see you fighting someone who's moving up in weight and you're their first fight at the weight. Number one. Number two, they're not going to be able to sell it here in America. That what they're going to do is they're going to tell him, and Bob has already said it, I think it's a great fight. He's already lying. I think it gets 1.5 million buys. But it has to be out in Scotland and this, that, and the other. So
you can go out there to Scotland if you want to.
so
Take your ass out there if you want to, bro.
Now, and my question is, do you think that Bob Arum is over the fact that he couldn't produce the Spence Crawford fight on the ESPN platform where ESPN invested all of that money into them?
Hell no.
He will sabotage that fight from happening.
Bob Arum is pissed. He's still pissed, and he's
still pissed about
it.
Right. And he will sabotage that fight from happening. The best way that he could get back at not making no money on that fight is to kill the actual fight. You follow what I'm saying? That's the best way. So for me, Josh Taylor, I don't want to see that. Keith Thurman, he got a fight with Barrios. He's been very inactive. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight only because, look, like I said, Keith Thurman get a tune-up. He ain't dealing with no injuries. He said it was a get-back year against Manny. He lost, but he been gone for 3 months, and he shouldn't have no type of injuries. He need to get some ring rust off, and he needs to have the mentality.
Real quick, ball game. Hey, that line Hitman Holla had talking about his brother gonna have to hold him up. I used to be on that battle rap shit, bro. I like the name. Yeah. Something so big, my little brother gonna have to hold me up. That shit was fire, bro. Go ahead, Kwame.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, Keith Thurman. What I stopped respecting about Keith Thurman was just his championship mindset. See, like Errol Spence gets into a car accident really bad. No one knows what his career holds. He still had a mindset of, even when he wasn't fully healed, like he did an interview on Fox, like, these boys is mad that I'm back. I'm not going nowhere, blah, blah, blah. I won all the top fights and all this. That's just mindset. Whether he was physically able to do it or not, it's just a mindset of a champion, where you have Keith Thurman, who gets calcium deposits removed from his elbow. That's supposed to take a couple weeks or a couple months, and he going for 22 months, and he talking about how he need a get back year. So at this point, if he fight Barrios, and however he looked, he need to hop in the ring, because he was telling Terence Crawford, you need to get a belt. You ain't did this, blah, 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 blah. So I don't think he's gonna win the fight. I think he's gonna get beat. I mean, people have already seen a blueprint on how to beat him. Manny Pacquiao did it. You know what I'm saying? There's a blueprint on how to beat Keith Thurman already. There's something to actually tangibly look at and see how he lost. So
that's all facts. And let me say this, and then let me go to the homie G5 Gabe. So for Keith Thurman, bro, your punch resistance don't get better when you get older and take time out the ring. Like that shit don't happen. Rarely do you get older and you start taking punches better. Rarely do you get out of shape the way that his ass been out of shape, and then all of a sudden you gonna start you ain't soft to the body no more. That shit rarely happens, bro. So you making all valid points, and I'm not trying to cut you off, bro. Go ahead and finish your thoughts, and then I'm gonna go to G5.
Yeah. So to alleviate the Keith Thurman, and you have Virgil Ortiz, who's number 1 in the WBO. Virgil Ortiz management team or promotional team in Golden Boy Promotions, they don't have Canelo anymore. Ryan Garcia is no longer fighting. Virgil Ortiz is their best asset and commodity. Him fighting Terence Crawford is high risk, low reward. Terence Crawford doesn't have a huge fan base. I mean, it's just seen in the numbers, number one. So why would they sacrifice their guy this early and kill his stock when they're already on record stating that they want down the line, they want to fight Jerome Boots Ennis for a title and a big title shot fight. So they're not going to do that. So then that leaves who? Jerome Boots Ennis, who's on record.
That's it.
Who's on record stating, right? Who's on record stating when they tried to do the first negotiations with Sean Porter, and Sean Porter said $1 million was an insult to him. Jerome Boots Ennis jumped up on social media so quick and said, "I'll take the $1 million for the fight." You ain't gonna have Jerome Boots Ennis is old school. He's not gonna. $1 million probably his biggest payday. He's not gonna be sitting around being a diva about he need this and that. He's in that stage where he's young. and hungry, and he wants the title, and he's gonna take his shot.
He just want the smoke. He don't give a damn who is against. All good points, Kwame. Let's go to G5. G5, who should Crawford fight next, bro? And then we got King David in here. I'm gonna salute to him, and then let him go after King after G5 since he just got here. But go ahead, G5. What's next for Crawford, bro? What are we gonna see? What you want to see, man? What you think gonna pop off?
Man, since we doing, I heard the reference of the battle rappers. You know, I like that shit too. Terence Crawford, you just another lost nigga. Seriously.
Damn, you loaded Luxton, bro. Damn.
Man, because I mean, if you go back after you'd already signed one contract, re-up, and you got shitted on publicly and unpublicly, you know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, on the scenes, doing fights. Look how Bob Arum did you. Anytime it was your fight week, they got on the ESPN ticker, Tyson Fury and Lomachenko was getting promoted more than you, and it's your fight weekend, bro. Or you're the one that's going to fight. So why would you go back to a person who doesn't promote you or don't give a shit about you? You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it since, you know, a lot of, you know, Bud meat mushes, you know what I'm saying? They don't like to hear logic, right? So you got to lay out the table and set it for them. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Ugas, he's tied up with Earl. Thurman is tied up with Barrios. You know what I'm saying? Your only two options are the people that y'all try to deflect and put on Errol Spence. Like he the only person that got to do the heavy lifting and shit.
Yeah, bro. I seen all the titles. Oh, Spence ain't got nowhere to go. He got Jerron Boots in his problems. He got all right. Cool.
Yeah, but did y'all forget that he's ranked in multiple sanctioning bodies, and he's ranked in the sanctioning body that you hold the belt for? Knock, knock. Do y'all not understand? You know what I'm saying? He's ranked in your division too. So you got Jerron and Virgil problems as well. But that don't mean nothing because they always want to shift. That's just like a person who always robbing. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll deny it or whatever, but they'll shift that blame or what they do on somebody else. Like, bro, no, we not playing that. You rob, I don't rob. You know what I'm saying? I work for mine. Don't deflect and to put what you do on me. And that's what they be doing. So it's like you got two options unless you go after a Jamal James stay busy fighter or Speedy Rashidi Ellis or something like that. Or you go get another young fighter, Connor Bean or somebody, but you know, you're not gonna get no credit for that. But I want people to really keep the same energy when it comes to Terence Crawford and his opponent selection. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So y'all should be on his ass if he try to fight Josh Taylor. Reason why? Because you have 147 pounders that were available, and you fucked up and dropped the ball. Because if this was Errol Spence, y'all would be grilling him. It'll be on CNN. It'll be on billboards around your city. No matter where it happens, it's always let's shit on Earl. So keep the same energy. If he fight Josh Taylor, y'all Bud fans or extra meat washers should be on his ass about fighting Josh Taylor. For what? What is he going to get you? What is he going to gain you? What are you going to? That's not going to elevate your stock. Why you fight? Because you not fighting him for all his 3 belts, fool. You fighting him for your belt. Come on, make it make sense. He's moving up to try to get your belt. You think Bob Arum is going to be cool with you knocking him out, beating him without no stipulations, and you not even signing him no more?
And make no mistake, I think Bud will wash Josh Taylor, but that ain't a risk worth taking, bro. That ain't a risk worth taking. It's other options that's better for him. But let's go to the homie and salute L Dub. I see you in the building. C Wood, I see you in the building. L Dub, let me know if you want a link, bro. Let me know if you want a link. You can hop on. Oh shit, I got 6 people up here already. But if you want a link, man, I'll drop it for you. And then if somebody hops off, LW, you always welcome to hop on. And that's Dwayne Freeman's channel right there. Dwayne got his channel going. We pushing him. We trying to get him some subscribers. So we got 70 people in the building by my count. Y'all be sure to go subscribe to my brother Dwayne Freeman and G5 Gabe got a channel. Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk got a channel. Everybody up here with a channel, you can drop your links in there. We got to support each other. So y'all please feel free to do so. Miss Casa es Su Casa. And y'all shorting me too. And I'm going to get to the homie King David. But y'all short me, bro. I'm looking over here at my likes. I'm looking at my people in the building. I got more people in here then I got likes, and that shit don't add up. Look, man, we got the Cash App right here next to the pristine, great, very accurate prediction record, and that's cool if you can't do the Cash App. I also got the Super Chat button right there. But if you ain't got no money to do the Super Chat, if you ain't got no money to do the Cash App, I know you got a thumb or pointer finger, some shit that you can use to smash on my like button for me, bro. You can hit the like button. It's free. We all in the car riding together in this car of boxing talk. Put your seatbelt on. I just want you to be safe, bro. Put your seatbelt on when you hop in the car. Smash the like button. This is great dialogue, great boxing talk. And y'all be sure to show all these brothers that I'm mentioning some love. L-Dub boxing matchups with Dwayne Freeman. Kwame from Lawyer to the Game, Boxing Talk. G5 Gabe got his channel going. Matter of fact, he gonna be live on his own channel in 40 minutes. So I want to see all y'all over there showing him the same love that y'all are showing me. But King David, salute to you, bro. Thanks for hopping on. First time having you on the platform, man. I appreciate you coming through. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Can y'all hear me good?
Man, you loud and clear, my brother. You loud and clear. You loud and clear. Go ahead and floor is yours, my brother. Do your thing. Cook on. We done cooked on a bunch. You came in the middle, so you can take it wherever you want to take it. We talked about the WBA. Do we agree with their decision or disagree with their decision to allow Ugas to unify? We talked about Errol Spence. Is he ducking Bud Crawford with this move? And then we just talked about what should be next for Crawford. So you can cook on all of it. You can cook on some of it. Just do you, bro. Floor is yours.
Appreciate that, fam. Salute Knockout. You know what I'm saying? Salute everybody in the panel. Salute everybody in the chat. You know what I mean? But you know, your boy gonna take this in a whole nother direction. You know what I mean? So you know, first
as you should,
foremost,
as you should do your thing.
Absolutely. So you know, my thing is, you know, this unification fight with Yordenis Ugas, you know, I'm all for unification fights. You know what I'm saying? But in this particular situation, I'm not really cool with the circumstances surrounding it, and I'll explain why. The fact of the matter is, Errol Spence, and his team, Yordenis Ugas and their team, they paid this dude standing on this step aside money. So, there's a few issues with that, man. Step aside money. You first of all, the biggest fight in the sport right now is Terence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. So why do you need to go and pay somebody else step aside money for a lesser fight than the bigger fight? So that's the first issue that I have with this whole situation. And then the second issue I have with it, on top of that, is the fact that we're not thinking about the fact that Stan Jonas is stepping aside, meaning that after this fight with Yordenis Ugas, there's a very good chance that Stan Jonas is going to be the next opponent for Errol Spence, given the fact that he stepped aside for this first fight. You know what I mean? So, I mean, is he gonna be willing to step aside again? Is it gonna be two step asides? I mean, it's highly unlikely, given the fact that he knows that this is his opportunity to get a crack at the WBA belt. So I'm pretty sure when they asked him to step aside, they probably made that with a condition to be able to get a fight with Errol Spence or the winner of that fight afterwards. So that's one of my big issues with this fight. That's why I feel like this is somewhat of a duck, you know what I'm saying, on behalf of Errol Spence. And I know I got a lot of Spence fans, both in the panel and in the chat, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm thinking
We're
right
gonna
now.
let you get your shit off, bro. You speak freely over here. Talk your shit. We ain't gonna cut you off. Do your thing. We'll retort you when you get done, but we ain't gonna cut you off. Keep going, bro.
Oh, appreciate that, fam. Yeah, man. So you know, but yeah, that's pretty much what my thoughts are. I also heard y'all talking about Josh Taylor and how that would be a bad idea for Terence Crawford to fight Josh Taylor, and I disagree with that because I feel like, honestly, man, the arguments that y'all made about Josh Taylor, possibly getting the robbery in on Terence Crawford. I mean, the same kind of situation can be applied to any and everybody else. I mean, right now, Terence Crawford is a free agent. So if you fight somebody on the PBC side, there's a good chance that people on the PBC side are going to rob him. If you fight somebody on Golden Boy side, there's a possibility that promoters on the Golden Boy side are going to rob him. So no matter where he goes, he's going to be in for that type of situation. And he's going to be the guy that in most cases is going to be robbed. You know what I mean? So in that particular sense, I don't think there's any issue with him fighting Josh Taylor, getting that fight in, and you know what I'm saying, and possibly fighting Keith Thurman.
Be real though, that's because you think Terence Crawford knocked the shit out of Josh Taylor, so you ain't worried about shit. You think he gonna beat the dumb shit out of Josh Taylor, don't you?
I mean, I do think he gonna win the fight. And I ain't gonna hold you, but I mean, you know, at the same time, it's still a good fight. You know, it's still a fight. Josh Taylor is a big name over in the UK, so it is an opportunity for Bud to build his star power overseas. You know what I'm saying, and kind of travel again. He already traveled to the UK when he fought Ricky Burns. So this is another opportunity for him to go overseas and fight somebody like a Josh Taylor, somebody who's been undisputed at 140 pounds like he was before. So I think, you know, and then also too, you know, Bud got a lot of other options as well, man. He could fight Virgil Ortiz. I'm certainly okay with that fight, a big fight down in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So he could build his brand down there as well. You know, but personally, man, I like what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling right now that this fight between Errol Spence and Bud Crawford isn't really gonna happen. You know what I mean? Between Jerron Ennis being number 3, yeah, man. Between Jerron Ennis being number 3, Virgil Ortiz being number 1 in the WBC, I feel like after this fight, we're gonna have a Stanionis who's gonna be stepping in front of a Bud fight, who Earl's gonna have to potentially fight next. And then maybe another mandatory that Earl's gonna have to fight in Virgil Ortiz or Boots in it. So, you know, I that's why I'm kind of feeling like this is a duck, and that's why I'm kind of feeling like this fight ain't gonna happen.
Okay, all right, bro. So let me first of all, K Rod or G5. Do y'all want to respond to King David before I do? Because I might be a little long winded.
Yeah,
Either one of y'all want to respond?
Yeah, go ahead, K Rod.
All right.
I'll go out.
Yeah, this is.
And if it turns into like retorting and King David got something to say back to y'all, everybody just talk one at a time. But y'all can hash it out and all that shit. But just let's make sure we can hear everybody because we got a lot of people in the chat. They want to hear the conversation, so let's not talk over each other. But go ahead, K Rod, do your thing.
I'm on mute, bro. I'm let him do his thing. Then I'll chime in once he, finish and get my rebuttal.
Already. Go ahead, K Rod.
Yeah, to rebut to that, I don't think that's a duck, because if that was a duck, I truly believe Errol Spence wouldn't have become a champion in the first place. Because, like, why would you go up to 147 as Terence Crawford to go after the WBO belt, knowing that you could have easily defeated Errol Spence through the IBF route, and then that would have made you the man that beat the man, i.e., Errol beating Kell Brook at that time to become the IBF champion. Therefore, it makes you easier to become a more notable name at the welterweight division. So, therefore, Errol Spence, he's just keeping his end of what the bargain to his own consistency. Because if I'm Errol Spence and I want to make the most money out of my own dollar, I should just go after the fights that are on my side of the street, rather than struggle to make fights with guys that are not going to be on my political side to say, oh, well, I want more money, blah, blah, blah. And like, they'll make up more excuses as far as trying to make the negotiations harder. And therefore, Errol Spence, he would have struggled trying to make those other tougher unification fights down the road. So I see it being a very smart business decision for Errol Spence, because he decided to, take his fights over at the PBC to unify all the belts, and then he'll save Terence Crawford for last, because based on the business side of everything, he knows that Terence Crawford is going to be the hardest fight to make, because Terence Crawford wants more out of that fight. So therefore, it makes more sense to have that fight last, to make it for undisputed, rather than having it now, in which it could happen back in the past, but it's just that the business of boxing is what's holding everything up. So at this point, EJ, he's doing everything right, and he's not doing anything wrong. He's just doing what he wants to do to maximize his own dollar to become a more higher profile fighter.
Okay, let me do this. Let's let King David respond to what he just said. Then once King David says his piece, we'll go to G5 Gabe. King David, you got anything you want to say in response to K Rod?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So he mentioned something about the IBF route. So I just want to get some clarification on it, because there's a lot of people that do mention why Bud didn't go the IBF route. So let me clarify on that. At the time, Bud Crawford was actually undisputed He actually dropped the IBF belt because the IBF mandated a fight between him and Sergey Lipinets. So, that was a nonsense fight. So because of that, Bud actually dropped the belt. So he actually didn't even have the IBF belt in order to even go the IBF route. And then the other thing I want to mention about that as well is that the only sanctioning body that has it in their rules where you can move up and challenge the champion right away is the WBO. So the WBC and the WBA, if he would have gone any of those other routes, he would have had to fight into position to become the mandatory, which could have took a year or so, at least probably 2 fights. But in addition to that, he would have had to wait in that mandatory spot for whenever those sanctioning bodies mandate that fight to actually happen. So he could have been theoretically sitting around waiting on a fight between one of the champions. But not only that, the Jeff Horn had the WBO belt at the time. So I mean, everybody at that time, Keith Thurman, all the welterweights at that time was looking for Jeff Horn to fight him in order to get that belt up off of him. So by the time Bud would have even got into position to be able to fight whoever the top guy was at that time, whether it was Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, or whoever, they probably would have already become undisputed and then moved out the division. Similar to what Canelo Alvarez did right now at 168 pounds, where he collected all those belts and then moved up out of division before we can get a fight with David Benavidez. So I know that's going to anger people, but it's fine. You know what I mean? But I just want to give that to you as an example as far as why he didn't go that route. Now, to touch on some of the other stuff you said, you mentioned something about, I think you mentioned something about the fight.
Real quick, King David, keep that thought right quick, bro. Let me Ben, you more than welcome to hop on, bro. But the panel full right now. Soon as somebody hop off, man, you more than welcome to hop on. I see you in the background. I had dropped that link because you had asked me, bro. So if we get somebody to hop off, you'll hop on. But I don't want to rush these brothers. I want to let them cook. And then if somebody hops off, they got something to do or something like that, Ben, you more than welcome to hop off. So just hang out in the background if you don't mind, bro. Stay in the chat. And then once the spot open up, you more than welcome, my brother. But go ahead, David.
Yeah, I kind of forgot the last part of what he was talking about. I forgot the last part of what he was saying. But I'll let whoever go ahead and cook, and then I'll touch on whoever else want to add something to whatever it is they saying. So you can go ahead.
G5, it's on you, G5. Go ahead, bro.
All right, what's good, King David? Hey, no respect. I like you as a Bud fan. You know what I'm saying? You actually got, you know what I'm saying, actually got a brain in your head. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But when you are undisputed as a champion, you know, even though, you know, I get what you're saying about the WO. When you petition in to any organization and you've been coming from undisputed, they are going to rank you in that damn sanctioning body. You know what I'm saying? So if he would have went to WBC route and asked to be ranked, coming that he was undisputed, they would have ranked him. You know what I'm saying? On that note. And I do on the Josh Taylor thing, why would you go back, you know what I'm saying, to a person that you left and do any business with them when they already showed you that they don't give a shit about you? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not smart business when you already have seen the results in the proof in the pudding of what Bob Arum is capable of. He's not going to promote you like you want to or promote any fight that you have because he hasn't done it, period. You left him for a reason, so there's no point of going back. But, you know, I want people to keep the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor coming up, that's like if, you know, you going to fight a smaller dude when you got people at 147 you can fight. You know what I'm saying? He really doesn't have a whole lot of options to be that. We just going to be quite frank about it. Earl is tied up. Thurman is tied up. You know what I'm saying?
And just so everybody know, real quick, the WBO welterweight rankings, they got Ortiz #1, Ennis #2, Michael McKisson #3, Sandor Martin, who just beat Mikey Garcia at #4, and then David Avanesian ranked as #5.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, with that, you know, he doesn't have a lot of options, to be honest. And I mean, even though he's a free agent, you know, you need a backing or somebody, a back end to make a contract. Because if he try to go to the table as an independent, and with no advisor or no promoter, you know what I'm saying? You don't have shit to offer. You know what I'm saying? If he had a big pay-per-view backing and numbers or whatever, then cool. You can do that. But if you can't ask Bud to send him a contract because he can't make up his own contract right now. You know what I'm saying? He don't have no promoter. He hasn't hired an advisor to our public knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has said anything about, okay, it was speculation about the TMT or, you know what I'm saying, Kinahan now, MTK Global. But we still haven't heard anything. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, get out shit or get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really wanted to fight, okay, you just fought Sean Porter. If you and Earl set a fight, you wasn't gonna be ready by February or March. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he trying to come back. Because you're not gonna take a short training camp for the fight Errol Spence, and that's gonna be the biggest fight. Let
me say this real quick, G5. Teach, I see you say cherry pick Conor Ben. Listen, bro. If Virgil Ortiz is good enough, Conor Ben good enough, bro. Like, I don't nah, like shit. He in the top 10 rankings, and L-Dub, he went ahead and gave who number 6 was. I'll give number 6 too. Cody Crowley's number 6, like L-Dub said. Conor Ben is number 7. And then Lewis Crocker is number 8. Imani Stanionis is already tied up in number 9. Then some guy named Keita Obara. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, bro. I was given the names I want to see him fight, but any of those names that stay busy that I just mentioned in the top 10 that's not tied up in a fight, bro, I'm cool with. I'm not gonna call Conor Ben a cherry pick. Like, people using the term cherry pick and ducking very, very loosely, in my opinion. And I'm gonna touch on it when I want to take the floor and it's my time to talk. But G5, I ain't want to cut you off. I just wanted to address that comment. But you go ahead, bro, and keep cooking. Then we're gonna pass to the homie, Get the Smoke. First time on the panel with me on my platform, so I can't wait to chop it up with the brother. I see him all the time. But you go ahead, G5, do your thing.
Oh, no doubt, man. You good, man. I remember my thoughts and stuff like that. So what is Bud really gonna do? I don't mind, somebody ranked, but like, you gotta do something that's gonna increase, your fan base at the same time. You can stay busy. Josh Taylor will be a good fight, but Josh Taylor don't sell. You know what I'm saying? You got the belts and things of that nature, but Josh Taylor's not a big draw. It'd be a good name on a resume, but he's not a true 147 pounder, and he don't sell. If you fight anybody, you want to be a fight that people are actually looking for or clamoring for. Other than Top Rank, people are not clamoring for Bud to fight Josh Taylor. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got Stanionis, he has Butayev. That's who he gonna fight. When they took the step aside, they slotted him with Butayev. So whoever, he got to fight that. Then if they still gonna try to get the number 1 mandatory spot, they're gonna have to have a mandatory title eliminator. So to get the number 1 spot,
what's also being reported, because that was gonna be one of the things I touched on, G5. What's also being reported, and L-Dub, maybe you can fact check this, is that they're gonna let Stanionis and Butayev actually fight as the co-main event to give them more exposure. They'll be fighting on the co-main event of the Spence and Spence and Ugas fight. So that's another thing that they gave him. So not only are they trying to make them right by the step aside money, they're making them the co-main event, and they putting them on the pay-per-view to further give them exposure and build their name up. So wanted to throw that out there. And L-Dub, let me know if that's incorrect, if you're hearing the same thing, because that's what I'm hearing. But go ahead, G5.
Oh, and I'm about to wrap it up. And with Boots, with him being ranked after Stanionis and Butayev fight, they might make Boots fight the winner of them for the true number 1 mandatory spot. So it's still gonna be fights in between. So, and also, unifications trump mandatories any day. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I got. You know what I'm saying?
Already, yeah. And the thing about that shit, man, with the unification trumps mandatories, I don't even know no more. It seems like these sanction bodies and shit, they just like, what, this one over here, we're gonna let it trump it. This one over here, you got a Mando. Like, I don't know what the hell to believe no more. And salute to Dolomite, Ben Israel. Ben, if you still want to hop on, we got a free spot. You better hurry up, man, for somebody to try to come get it. Smoke, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, what's up, man? What's up, man? I'm glad I finally caught your panel. Yeah, we've been on other panels together, but I have never caught you on your own platform, so it's a pleasure. Yeah, big respect. Just to add to what people were saying, right? So the idea that you were not going to fight Terence Crawford and you're in like one of those Mando spots, I don't think is like a reasonable idea, right? Like he's just going to have to fight his way up like he's a nobody. Like those dudes would love the chance to fight a Terence Crawford who had the cachet and the skills and the accolades and all that stuff. Like he had like some kind of draw before he got to the welterweight division. I think that he could have demanded, except for that log jam between Errol Spence and Thurman and Garcia and Porter. Like I think he could have picked off the other people, like Ugas. He could have picked off that fight easy. But anyway, that's just like my thought on that particular fight. On that particular situation about like Terence Crawford's ability to move up. But I feel like like what he did is to me isn't like I'm not mad at him about it because I think he needed to acclimate himself to the weight. I think he got paid. I think he was content. He added to his achievements that were already considerable in the sport, and he added to his bank account. Not mad about none of that stuff. Now though, it seems like with the thing with Spence now fighting Ugas, it's looking like like you were saying, a stay busy fight I'm not mad at. Sean Porter's a big fight. You don't need to go back-to-back killers, especially if you got an undisputed fight on the horizon. Josh Taylor has a fight. Like, why would you sit around and wait for a guy to fight somebody and then move up to fight you? Like, whatever. I mean, and so you can do all that stuff, or you could pick off one of these guys that nobody really calling for, stay busy, top 10, whatever. That's all good. As long as undisputed is like, on the horizon, if that looks like a thing. And also, you don't really want to take a bunch of punishment before you get into this Spence fight. You want to let him, let Ugas take all the deliver some licks, and then, you do what you need to do to be sharp for that fight, right?
Let me say this real quick, Smoke, and then I'll give it back to you. I just want to respond to the OG and the brother C. Coolidge. He says, this guy Josh Taylor isn't a big draw. That's not true. He's an enormous draw in Scotland. We need to stop that because there is not a draw in America. Well, I feel what you're saying, C, but I would just say, what are the odds of Terence Crawford going to Scotland to fight him where he is a big draw? So that's what I think the context of the conversation is. But I agree with you. Like Josh Taylor, the man over there in Scotland. But if you Terence Bud Crawford, you ain't on the same level as Regis Prograis. That's no disrespect to Regis, but I don't see Terence Crawford going over to Scotland to fight Josh Taylor when Josh Taylor will be moving up to fight him for his title, bro. Like I don't see that happening. But I do agree with your overall statement that Josh Taylor, he's huge in his home country, just like Kambosos got a following in Australia, and I'm sure if Lomachenko had a fight in fucking Ukraine, that shit would be popping off. Like I agree with that, bro. I ain't here to disagree with your overall sentiment, but go ahead, Smoke. Do your thing, man. I'll let you keep cooking.
Yeah, no, I mean, just again, Josh Taylor is still at 140, and for whatever kind of draw he is in Scotland, he came to America for a reason, because apparently whatever that draw is, America is a more lucrative market, right? Like if he was getting it like that in Scotland, he'd be staying in Scotland and getting it like that in Scotland.
Already. Let me say this. So I want to let me catch your super chat, and then I want to have a dialogue with the homie King David. King David, you still there, bro?
Yeah, bro. I'm here. I'm just listening to everybody.
All right, cool. I was taking mental notes of what you were saying, and I wanted to respond to it, man. See if I can bring you over to the dark side, bro. See if I can bring you over to the dark side. And what I mean by that is Errol Spence ain't ducking Terence Crawford, bro. So I'm gonna try to see if I can sway you a little bit and see if I can just get you to say that it's just good business. But let me catch Corey Lee Boxing. Salute Corey Lee Boxing with the $2 in the super chat. Says salute to everyone from Corey Lee. It's ice season. It's cold as shit here in Texas, man. I ain't used to this, bro. It's like 40-something degrees today. I got a hoodie on in the house and shit. It's not good, bro. It's not good. And salute to my brother 817 Boxing B in the building. Salute to you. So here's what I got, King David. You said you think it's somewhat of a duck for Errol Spence to be taking on Ugas instead of Terence Crawford. And I remember you and I had this conversation. I was like, look, bro, I'm with you. I want to see Terence Crawford first. If he ain't fighting Terence Crawford and Ugas is tied up, then he got to be fighting a mandatory. So I agree with that part of it. But why I'm not going to say that it's a duck, and why I disagree with your stance that it's a duck, is that Errol Spence told us what he was going to do, bro. Like if I tell you, if I say, King David, look, bro, I'm going to fight you, but I got to go holler at G5 first. Then after I holler at G5, I'm going to go holler at Smoke. I'm going to beat his ass. Then I'm going to come see you last, because you and me, we the biggest fight, bro. Am I really ducking you if I'm doing what I said I'm gonna do, bro? Like I can't see it that way, homie. Like I can't take my mind there when a man tell me what he gonna do and then he go do the shit. The man said, look, and then he going on interview saying the same shit. Like he been consistent the whole time. That's why I don't believe we can call it a duck when somebody's like, look, bro, I'm gonna collect all these belts. Then when I collect all these belts, I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna see what Terence talking about. And if he ain't talking about shit, I'm gonna move up to 154. So as long as the man is on code and he's doing what he said he's gonna do, I don't see how we can call that a duck. And then to throw in the point about him paying step aside money or some shit to stand on this to unify, people do that shit all the time, bro. They do that shit all the time to fight another champion. You know what I'm saying? I believe until Errol Spence lie to us, until he do some shit that ain't on par with what he said he was gonna do, until he do some shit like that, then I'm gonna stand firm and continue to ride with what he's saying, because he done told us what the hell he was gonna do. And then another point, because I've heard you say, my brother, like, yo, Crawford ain't gonna get no credit if he beats Spence now. He ain't gonna get no credit because of the iron shit. People gonna be making excuses for him. And so I wouldn't mind seeing him get a tune up. But it just seemed like, and I don't want to speak for you, so I'm gonna give the floor back to you. It just seemed like a lot of Terence Crawford fans kind of hoped that the tune up would be because Jerron Boots Ennis. And then I heard you, I don't know if it was on purpose, I don't know if it was subconscious, but when you started mentioning opponents for Terence, you didn't mention Jerron Boots Ennis. But when I was on your panel and you was mentioning opponents for Errol Spence, you brought up Jerron Boots Ennis. You would like to see that fight. So I think that what's rubbing people the wrong way, in my opinion, and I'm talking about Terence Crawford fans, is that Spence could potentially pick up that other belt. And then we start all over with the 60-40 shit and what has he done and all that. We start over with all that shit, and it gives Spence more leverage. And then now we know that Bud Crawford really ain't got shit to stand on, and that if now he's still yelling 50-50 or he don't take the 60-40, assuming that it's Spence that wins against Yordenis Ugas, then it's gonna be like, damn, bro, like, do you really want to fight Spence? And so that whole shit just flips on his head if we get to that point. And then I want to say this too, and then I'm gonna pass to you, King David. If Ugas were to win, he's coming off a successful pay-per-view with Manny Pacquiao that did more than anything that Terence Crawford has ever done. Then if Ugas beats Errol Spence, he'll be coming off of another successful pay-per-view potentially with 3 belts. So it seems like whoever Bud Crawford fights in this unification, seems like he might have to give a little bit, bro. So that's why I don't agree with the ducking shit, man, because the man doing what he said he was gonna do. And then furthermore, I don't agree with the whole step aside shit, meaning that he ducking, nor do I agree that him fighting Ugas instead of Bud right now is anything close to ducking, because that's what the man said he was gonna do. To that, sir, the floor is yours. What do you have on that, bro?
Yes, sir. Okay, so to talk firstly about what you mentioned as far as the step aside money. So as far as what you were saying about Errol Spence, doing everything that he said he was gonna do, I definitely disagree with that. I think there's a lot of things Errol did that he never said he was gonna do, but that's a whole nother conversation. But just to go back to the step aside money for a second, when you pay somebody step aside money, it's usually because you're trying to make the biggest fight in boxing. It's usually when you pay somebody step aside money.
Real quick, King David. Real quick, bro. Edwin. I don't hate Canelo, bro. I speak facts. Tell me, when did I say that he was ducking David Benavidez, bro? I said I would like to see him fight David Benavidez. Now I said he ducked Charlo and Andrade down at 160. I said that Laguna Beach Macadamia Nut is a trash ass fight. I said that shit, and I believe that shit wholeheartedly. But I never said he ducked David Benavidez. I gave Canelo full credit for being undisputed. As a matter of fact, I picked him to knock Caleb Plant out when a lot of people were saying Caleb Plant was gonna win that fight. So
he probably talking to me, knockout, because I mentioned I made a reference earlier talking about undisputed. If Bud made it, he probably talking to me.
I got lost for a second. I got lost for a second, bro. Go ahead, do your thing, man. I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm like, hold on, bro. I don't hate none of these fighters. I criticize them when they deserve it. I give them credit when they deserve it. Do your thing, though, bro, and then I'll go back with you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, man. As far as the step aside money, you typically pay someone step aside money when you're trying to make the biggest fight, at that division, or the biggest fight in boxing. In this particular case, you don't pay somebody step aside money to make an inferior fight, and that's kind of what this is. Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas is an inferior fight because the fight that everybody wants to see is Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest problem.
I want to see that
with the step aside money in my eyes. And then also too, man, like I was saying a little bit earlier, man, they paid this man step aside money, which means he's still in the mix. So that means there's a good chance that even after this Ugas fight, we're still not going to get Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, because Stanionis is going to be waiting in the woodworks for his opportunity to fight the winner of that fight. You know,
you don't think that they'll pay Stanionis ass again for undisputed? You think that? So if the WBA changed their mind for unification, my guy, they changed their mind for unification. You don't think they're gonna change their mind for an even bigger bag for undisputed, bro?
Hey, they might actually pay Stanio. They might attempt to do that. Is he going to be willing to step aside again is the question. You know what I mean? Because what did they tell him in order to step aside this time? I'm sure they promised him that he would be getting the winner of this fight. You know what I mean? So for him to have to step aside again, I mean, what is the likelihood of that happening? I don't know. I'm just saying that that's a situation that's going to have to be dealt with. And then at the same time, we got Virgil Ortiz, who's ranked number 1 in the WBC, and Boots Ennis, who's ranked number 3 in the IBF. And at any day now, because it's been a while since we had Errol Spence fight a mandatory for any of those belts, at any day now, they can announce a mandatory for one of those belts, which further delays the fight. You know what I'm saying?
So hold on, keep your thought, and I'm gonna let you go back to cooking, bro. But I can't allow this, bro. So Edwin, knockout, you dissed Canelo for fighting champ at cruiserweight. You said David, Zerto, Bivol, and such better, but saying Zerto is doing something great, he's done nothing. Never once in my life have I said that Zerto Ramirez was doing great. I said he's a problem and that he can. First thing, second thing, fighting a champion at cruiserweight, Laguna Beach Macadamia Nut, my guy Edwin. Look, bro, there are other fighters. Maris Breedis is a champion too. So is Lawrence Okoli, who has a huge following over there in the UK. That's a bigger fight. That's a former Olympian. Those are bigger fights than Laguna Beach Macadamia Nut. No disrespect to the motherland of Africa, bro. No disrespect to them, but Africa ain't big on boxing like that, homie. People don't know who Laguna Beach Macadamia is unless you up here in this chat or you on this panel, because we are all diehard boxing fans, bro. David Benavidez, and I'm catching your other chats too. David Benavidez being undisciplined, that ain't got shit to do with him being an overall better fighter and a better name on Canelo's resume than Laguna Beach Macadamia Nut. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I don't see you. I never see you on my videos. I never see you on my live streams when I go in on Tank Davis for the same goddamn thing. Energy don't change, bro. Just 5 or 6 other fucking opponents better for Tank Davis. There's 5 or 6 other opponents better for fucking Canelo Alvarez, bro. And that ain't me hating. These is facts, homie. And when you like Canelo Alvarez, the thing is he get to pick who he fight, Edwin. He get to pick who he fight, bro. He don't have to wait on a promoter and shit. He don't have to go to a network and shit. If Canelo Alvarez call anybody phone from 154 all the way up to cruiserweight, they answering that whole, yes, sir, how can we make this fight happen? That's just a fact, homie. And so when you have that type of power, bro, and when you have that type of cachet, and you are the biggest draw from that side of boxing when it comes to those weight classes, bro. You have a great responsibility too. And I'm so tired of boxing fans, bro. Like, y'all get on my nerves with this shit. Only in boxing, bro. Only in boxing do we take the fighters that are supposed to be great. We take the Canelo Alvarez's, we take the Monster Inoue, these pound for pound fighters, and we hold them to a lesser standard than people that ain't on the goddamn pound for pound list. How the hell are we holding David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo and Zerto Ramirez to a higher standard than Canelo Alvarez? You go over to any damn sport. Serena Williams, if she don't win the goddamn Wimbledon, I don't give a damn if she make it to the finals. That shit is a disappointment. Tom Brady, if he don't win the goddamn Super Bowl, I don't care if he made it to the NFC Championship game or even made it to the Super Bowl. That shit is a disappointment, bro. What are you talking about, bro? I need answers, fam. So for me to say, yo, Canelo, why you fighting Laguna Beach when you can fight whoever the hell you want to fight? That ain't me hating on him, bro. That ain't me hating on him. That's me saying, look, I expect more from him. I want to see him fight a better fight, bro. That ain't no hate. And I say the same shit. I never see you guys come over here when I talk about Tank Davis in the same fashion. All I hear is knockout. You keeping it real, bro. You spitting facts. You talking facts, man. Yeah, Tank Davis, we do want to see him fight better opponents. But then when I guess maybe because Canelo might be one of your favorite fighters, when I say that shit, then all of a sudden I'm hating on Canelo or I'm a Canelo hater. I don't hate any of these fighters, bro. I keep it all the way 100 across the board, and most people will tell you that. Let me go to the homie pool counter in the super chat. It like Bud Crawford fans hold and spin every word Spence say. Bud lie all the time, and his fans ignore it. All right, let's go to King David. Go ahead, man. I ain't mean to make you lose your thought, bro. But go ahead.
If I could just jump in real fast.
Go ahead,
I just wanted to say that the Spence versus Ugas fight is way bigger than Ugas and Stanionis. It's just a bigger fight. And also, Kango Kid from UTFO, rest in peace. He just passed today.
Oh yeah, RIP, bro. Damn, that's messed up. Go ahead, King David. Finish getting your stuff off, bro.
Yeah, man. Shit. I gotta figure out where I was at. I think the last thing I was saying was well, to touch on what the gentleman just said, yes, Stanionis and Ugas is definitely a lesser fight to Ugas versus Errol Spence, but I mean Ugas and Errol Spence is still an inferior fight when it comes to Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. So
hold on real quick. Y'all ain't gotta mute J Rod. He ain't being y'all ain't gotta mute J Rod. He ain't being disrespectful. Hold on.
But my brother, when you say these things, you keep saying it's inferior though. This is a lineup to your boy Bud Crawford. I mean, this the boy Bud. Y'all got to get Bud out of protected custody. You feel what I'm saying? And when you keep saying this is an inferior fight, this a lineup fight. This is a fight EJ been asking for day one. And I don't know who made it happen, whether it be Al Heyman, the greats of the WBA. I'm glad they're allowing this to happen. Because after Ugas, you can say inferior, you can say whatever you want. And I want you to line your boy Bud Canfish Crawford and tell him it's time to fight. And all the belts on the line, bro. All of them will be on the line. And you should want this fight right now. You should be campaigning for it. I don't know what Bud over there doing. MT Lake Glover. He left Bob Aaron. Now we talk about this other fight with Josh Taylor. It'll be going backwards for him to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? If you want to stay active, I don't hear nobody talking about, this other dude. You feel what I'm saying? Why he don't Danny Garcia ain't got no fight schedule. Never fight schedule. Bud Crawford,
he at 154. Yeah, 154.
Man, Danny Garcia.
Danny will fight him at 147. If you want a top 10 fighter that none of y'all ain't mentioned.
Danny Garcia been ducking blood since 140, bro. He been ducking.
But after this Ugas fight, my brother, I want you to keep that same energy and tell Bud Crawford to line that shit up, man.
Oh, the energy there. The energy always
on the energy is not there, man. Oh, it's always be pulling up and tell Bud to stop pulling up at Disney World at them little kiddie ponds. Talk about he had the ocean. He ain't at no ocean knockout. He look at them little ponds. Talk about he looking for the big fish.
He looking for the
man,
big
he can
fish.
stop all that capping, bro. But after this Ugas fight, bro, we want that smoke, man. And
Hey,
boxing fans
as we
begging for
always
this fight.
have.
fam, let me ask you this question though, right? Because you
Go
said
ahead.
we should want this
Let
fight.
me hold
right?
on. Let me catch it. Let me catch his super chat. The homie G5 gave me the super chat with the $3. He say, "I'm in the chat until I go live. Thanks always. You know you always welcome, G5." But go ahead, King David. Ask your question, brother.
Yes, sir. So yeah, you mentioned that we should want this fight right now. So let me ask you this question, right? Why does Ugas and Errol Spence need to happen now, and why can't it happen next year after Stanionis and Ugas fight and they figure out whatever it is going on with the WBA? Why does this have to happen now and not later after Bud and Earl actually take place?
Bro, we got like 2 weeks left in this year. Like all the fights are next year.
Okay, bro,
No,
you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say.
Just
But
because
I'm
of
saying
that
it all
statement,
happen next year. Like
just
It's
because of
22.
that statement is why y'all be trying to keep Bud and protect the custody, bro. Y'all gotta let him. Y'all got if he that great fighter, the switch hitter.
Drinko, let me know if
If
you want to leave. Drinko, you can hop on if you want to, brother.
if he that dude, y'all keep proclaiming Bud to be that switch, the boogie, all that boo boo stuff, the buffoonery y'all keep capping Bud to be. Y'all should want this fight. Let us deal with Ugas right now.
Hold on, fam. You ain't answered the question though. You ain't answered the question.
And when we see Canfish Crawford, it be for undisputed.
But you ain't answered.
If EJ fight Bud right now, would that be for undisputed? Yes or no? That's just a big unification fight, bro.
Hey, it ain't gonna be for undisputed, but you ain't got to come out your
What
pocket.
Bud need to do right now, bro? Who Bud fucking with? Nobody don't know. Bud got paperwork problem, bro.
Well, how he got paperwork
on the business, who he fucking with? Do you know who Bud fucking with? I'm trying to ask Bomat. Bomat, you his manager, bro.
Who Canelo fucking with right now?
Errol for EJ is
he
man
got
down promotion.
he got
bro.
Eddie Hearn as his
nah, but he's his own promoter though too.
He's his own promoter. Like
it's man down promotion. If you want me to tell you again, ask anybody who it is. You don't worry about that. Ask who the fuck Bud Canfish Crawford is fucking with, bro. This
y'all go subscribe to my brother G5.
Hold on, bro. Why you making it sound like because he ain't got no promoter that a fight can't be made, bro? Like
it can't be made.
But all right, so why we talking about that?
L Dub, give me the info. L Dub, send me an email, bro. Come on, L Dub, don't hold out, bro. L Dub be having all the little jewels and shit. L Dub, let me know, bro.
As boxing fans, who he fucking with? Y'all was just talking about a minute ago, straight up and down. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, my brother. Just a minute ago, y'all was talking about this Josh Taylor. If Bud go back, that means he gonna have to go on the top rank. You gonna do this shit again, Bud? You gonna do this shit again? Come on, man. Which way we going, bro? And I'm not me as a boxing fan. I want Bud to invest in his motherfucking self, bro. I think Bud is very talented. He can market himself way better than that shit Bob Aaron was talking about. And his fat ass son-in-law Dubois, whatever the fuck his name is. You feel what I'm saying? Because they did shit for Bud over there at Top Rank. Bud did more for Top Rank than Top Rank did for Bud. If y'all want Big Israel to tell any one of y'all that shit, bro. Because nowhere in the fuck you gonna sit here and tell me as a boxing fan, this man bankrupt y'all company.
Ben, let me say this real quick. J-Rod, we friendly fire or bad. Everybody that got wrenches, y'all got wrenches. I mess with all y'all. Y'all know that, bro. But we don't block people for having a different of opinion. But I will say this, J-Rod, you was trying to refute a lot of what I was saying, and you wasn't agreeing with it. I'll drop a link for you, bro. I'm open to have conversations and talk boxing with anybody as long as we can keep it respectful. And you ain't been disrespectful, J-Rod. So if you want to get it off your chest, bro, I got an open spot up here just for you, fam. Just for you. Come on up here, my brother. Come on up here if you want.
I mean, just to answer the question, I would just say that Undisputed versus Crawford is a bigger fight than Undisputed versus Ugas. That's one reason why you do Ugas first.
Okay, but again, we see the same thing like with Wilder, AJ. We see these dudes try to collect all these Dragon Balls and come together and try to make a fight, but there's no guarantee the fight happens. Yordenis Ugas is a tough fight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but that's not the same. They already had all the belts. That's not
a fight for Ugas because EJ
so Ugas, neither Ugas or Crawford is for Undisputed.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is it doesn't need to be for undisputed. That's the biggest fight to make in boxing. So why prolong it any further? Why not make the fight?
Hold
and
on,
then
let me
after
ask King David. Let me ask King David something. Damn it, let me get in here. King David,
go ahead, fam.
didn't you say you didn't you say you wanted Spence to get a tune up, bro? Am I making that shit up?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, I don't remember actually saying that, but I will say that I don't mind him getting a tune up, but the problem
So then
is,
why are you mad at this? Why you mad at this fight then, bro?
hold on, wait, hold on. Let me finish. Hold on,
Ben. Let
fam.
him respond, Ben. Let him respond. Go ahead, King.
Yeah. I will say I don't mind him getting a tune up, but the man already said that he don't do tune ups. So if he say he don't do tune ups, then I gotta hold him at his word and say, okay, well, fuck it. I was okay with Keith
Ben,
Thurman
don't respond.
when he
I got
said
it,
he
Ben.
wanted
Don't
to
respond, Ben. I got it. All right, bro. You forgetting the other. See, King David, bro. He said I don't want tune-ups. You don't want it. You ain't gonna recite the rest of the tweet, bro. You just gonna stop right there. You're not gonna recite. You ain't gonna recite the rest of that tweet.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm quoting it right. So he said something like, "Tune-ups are for people that are unsure of themselves." I'm
Keep
pretty
going.
sure that.
Keep going.
You got to give me the rest. I forgot the rest. Refresh my
I
memory.
need to fight for a championship next.
Okay, but Bud got a championship belt as well.
But listen,
So does Ugas, bro.
Okay.
And Ugas was already signed to fight him. Like, I don't know the exact things, but he was about to fight Ugas before Manny came and swooped the fight from Ugas.
Okay, but you got to pick an
Ugas
argument though. You got to pick an
Ugas told
argument.
us in November. Ugas told us in November that I'm signed to fight Spence. WBA, why y'all doing me like this, bro? Why y'all doing me like this? I'm already signed to fight Spence for unification.
I hear what you're saying, but you got to pick an argument though. You either want to fight for a championship belt or you want to fight a tune-up. You can't do both. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he making a champion a tune-up, King David. You know that. He making a champion a tune-up, bro.
Stop tap dancing though, King David. You got what you doing right now is tap dancing, bro. You got to stop that, though,
Elaborate, fam. How am I tap dancing?
Right now, what this is nothing but undisputed, bro. And you should be in big support of this fight right now with Ugas. Because after Ugas, it ain't nothing but your boy Canfish Crawford, bro. And he could get away from this Disney World pond talk about he looking for the big fish because he gonna be right in his lap, bro. Ready?
Okay.
And you as a boxing fan, you better motherfucker tell Bud Crawford he better not take no other fight. He better invest in himself. I don't care if it's Global Bob Aaron. I don't care if it's Matchroom. I don't care if he is himself. You better sign.
Ben, let me catch this comment. Let me catch this comment. Then Smoke, I'll let you go. T says the point is Bud and Spence has a belt now. What if Spence loses to Ugas? Then my stance don't change. Cheat, you know how I give it up. What that means is that Ugas need to be fighting Bud Crawford for undisputed, and Spence just lost, bro. Like I'll be rooting for Spence, but shit, Ugas
Spence ain't none of that though. Knockout. No, knockout. I'm not going with that energy, my G.
Bro, you have to. I'm gonna tell you, Ben. You have. But here's why, Ben. Hold on. You have to go with that energy because for me, bro, the way I give it up, I love boxing more than any of these fighters because these dudes they gonna retire, bro. They gonna retire. They gonna be gone, and your boy Knockout gonna be right here still watching boxing. So if Spence loses to Ugas,
he's not. No, he not. No,
bro. I'm not saying he gonna lose. I'm saying if he lose, bro, then we
ain't
still gotta put
knockout. I'm gonna let you knock out. Just give me 1 second, my brother, and I thank you again for allowing me.
Bro, you always welcome here, but you gotta work this boxing, bro. Anything can happen, fam.
One thing EJ not gonna do, knockout. I'm ready to sleep in the streets about this fight, bro. I'm telling you, man. Ugas don't got nothing in his toolbox for EJ.
Hey, I might be just as confident as you. I might be just as confident as you, but I can't give it up yet because I got to do the breakdown and prediction.
They said the same thing about Pacquiao. They say Ugas ain't had nothing for Pacquiao either.
Hey, that's Ugas. That's
I don't know,
bro.
I don't know who they is, but
Ugas is
my record is up there, and I told y'all Ugas gonna beat the shit out of Pacquiao.
I just want to say you just can't. I just want to say that you just can't chase somebody and demand 60-40. Like those two sentiments don't go together.
One thing,
Yeah, they just don't go
get the
together. Like
smoke.
you
Oh,
get
he about to. You see where he about to go already, huh? Knockout. That's why you smiling. Oh, you
get the smoke.
Let me catch this super chat, bro. Hold on, y'all.
You got to stop the
y'all
buffoonery.
wild.
Get the
I
smoke.
said we were gonna speak
definitely
one
gotta
at a
stop the
time, and then y'all
buffoonery.
come up here tripping. Ben ain't been quiet yet. Ben like I'm getting my shit off knockout. I don't care. Ben, let
I'm
me
trying
catch
to
the
get off.
super chat, bro.
See one thing the Bud Crawford
Ben,
fans
let me
do.
catch. Ben, did you hear me? Let me catch a super chat. Then I'm gonna get the floor to you, bro. Let me catch this hoe right quick, man. From the homie J Rod with the $10 in the super chat. He says, "So why was it okay for Bud to call out Porter? Bud win, and when Bud wins, Spence goes straight for the WBA instead of Bud. They set Mikey, Danny, and Porter down, but not giving the same energy to Bud." Let me respond to that. Then we're gonna let Ben keep cooking because Ben won't get it off his chest. So to me, J Rod, the reason that I think Spence is doing that, because again, you just go back to what the man said, bro. He said he was gonna get all them straps first. He said he was gonna get all them straps first, then he was gonna come see Bud. As far as the Mikey fight goes, that was in March or something of 2019. They had both never been on pay-per-view. Mikey was free. Terence Bud Crawford is signed to Bob Arum. It's just hard for Top Rank and fucking and PBC to do business, bro. They just don't get along. Like one of them suing the other and shit. Then when one of their fighters is owed a contract to fight, they have to go to court and arbitrate. It's just hard for them to do business, bro. So I believe, to answer your question, I think he's going for the WBA right now instead of going straight for Bud Crawford because that's an easy ass fight to make. He can just go to Al, who is also Ugas's manager and shit, and he can just be like, hey, go make this fight. And then boom, they can work that shit out. They ain't gotta bring nobody else into it. We don't know who do we call, who do they call for Bud to make a fight? Do they call Bud directly? Do they call Bo Mac? Do they gotta get MTK on the phone? Is it still Bob Arum behind the scenes, kind of pulling the Eddie Hearn, Devin Haney type of deal? Like, who do they call to make the fight, bro? It's just easier to make the fight, in my opinion. But Ben, go ahead, bro. I don't want to keep cutting you off. Get your shit off.
And this is the thing though, knockout though, man. And what a lot of these Bud fans, like first and foremost, to you, King David, and especially you though, you know, I mean, your boxing, your boy, y'all need to support Bud though, bro. When Bud be having these fights, for one, y'all need to support Bud, buy his fights. If y'all can't buy the fight, go to the fights. Y'all can't get mad at EJ for what EJ is doing. Y'all can sit up here, oh, he going towards the Ugas fight. You got a lot of belts at line, not just the WBA. We got the linear champion at line. And stocks go up with this here. And this is what Bud need to learn in doing business. And y'all as Bud fans and all this shit, y'all want to come on YouTube, talk all this shit, but y'all don't even go and support Bud. Y'all screen Bud fights. We as motherfucking EJ fans, we show up at the fights. We pay our money, and not only just that, and we don't go to the fights, we smashing that motherfucking button and paying that motherfucking $79, $89, whatever it gonna cost. That's supporting your favorite fighter though, man. And what Bud need to do is just like what Knockout was saying, we don't know who this motherfucker fucking with, man. Y'all, as boxing fans, y'all got to stand behind this shit. Because Undisputed is lined up. And y'all going to have to get mad at Bud because Bud is capping, bro. Bud is selling that WBO belt. He ain't doing what a true fighter supposed to do, fighting with honor. If you take 60-40, Bud, right now, Bud made his, if y'all want to talk pocket, and I don't want to talk this shit, and you could, receipts is out there. Bud made his biggest motherfucking pay with Sean Porter, $6 million. And you got motherfucking EJ ready to give up every hard penny he done worked for. Another fighter finna give you everything he worked for at 60-40. That mean, motherfucker, if I buy a hot dog at that motherfucking MGA or wherever the fight gonna be, Bud got in on the motherfucking hot dog I'm buying. And this motherfucker talk about, oh, nah, if it gonna be a fight, I want 50-50, or matter of fact, I want 60-40 or more. Y'all Bud fan need to get mad at Bud for talking that dumb shit. Because if there ain't no motherfucking diva talk or some bullshit talk, he talking some bit. I don't even want to talk. And Bo Mac, you can't be talking all this dumb shit about EJ, bro. And you weighing 400 pounds, and you got one of the motherfucking best fighter in boxing as Terence Bud Crawford, and you ain't out here training this dude. You supposed to be motherfucking in fit shape. I want to fight motherfucking Bomac right now, knockout boxing. With that bullshit he coming
Why,
at
bro? Why you
EJ
don't fight
with.
Bomac,
Fuck
bro?
all that shit. It get personal with me because I fuck with
I
EJ.
can tell, bro. I can tell.
And
And
Let
I'm
me
back on mute.
let K Rod. K
Listen, I
Rod
mean,
ain't
if you really want to get
hold on,
funky with
Smoke.
it,
Hold on,
if
Smoke.
you
K
would,
Rod ain't been able to
yeah,
get a word in. Go ahead, K Rod. What you got?
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say like my final piece, and then I'll get up out of here.
Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Terence Crawford, he is a very skilled fighter, but Terence Crawford needs to take more control of his career if he
Damn it,
wants
K
to.
Rod. I hate to cut you off, but I gotta catch these before I forget. Starvinsky Motley in the Cash App. I appreciate you. We got Matthew in the Cash App, which was J Rod. Y'all stop muting. J Rod done dropped the super chat and he done dropped me a cash. Y'all leave J Rod alone. You can have a different opinion. J Rod just don't go crazy calling people clowns and stuff, bro. I seen you call somebody a clown. That's probably what got you snipped, bro. You gotta just talk your boxing shit. Go ahead, K Rod.
Yeah. The final thing that that I wanted to say is Terence Crawford just needs to take control of his career more, and knowing that this is his final years in boxing, I would say just get the ego out the way. Just make the fight with Spence once Spence gets his victory with Ugas, if he's able to, and just sit down at the negotiations and see where things go. Because, a win over Errol Spence will make you pound for pound number one, and you'll make the most money, out of boxing before you're ready to hang it up. So at this point, Terence Crawford definitely needs to, look at the mirror and just ask himself, do I want to be great or not? Because if you're not, then that's not how legends are made. Legends are made by taking risks and fighting the best obstacles of competition to be the best of your sport. So thank you very much.
All right, bro. I appreciate you hopping on, K Rod. You always welcome, man. You enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
Yep. Same.
All right, man. King David, bro. Go ahead and respond. Y'all do not let King David. Oh, go ahead, Smoke. I was gonna go to Smoke. Let's Smoke.
Right. I just wanted to just a quick observation that Bomac, like Ugas was good enough for Bomac to mention. Instead, they fought Amir Khan. It was good enough for Bob Arum to mention. Instead, they fought Kell Brook. But now that Errol Spence actually is fighting the guy, it's a problem.
Damn. That's a good point. King David, the floor is yours. I'm not even gonna say nothing, bro. I want you to be able to respond because being talked, Smoke just said his piece. And if it's any Terence Crawford fans in here, man, I'm dropping a link. Y'all got King David up here on the island. He holding it down like the soldier that he is. And he got a channel. So y'all go subscribe to Box or Die. You know what I'm saying? That's the brother, even though we got, difference of opinions. He do his thing. He work hard. He got daily content. So we got to show him some love too. But you Bud Crawford fans, man, where y'all at, bro? Let me know if y'all want to hop on the panel, man. We welcome. We welcome all the different opinions over here, man. But y'all got to be willing to hop up. King David over here standing on his square, and he doing a damn good job doing it. And he ain't going to back off. I know him. I done had several conversations with him. But King David, go ahead, bro. The floor is yours. Ain't nobody going to cut you off, man. Do your thing. Oh, you there, King David?
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man.
Go ahead, brother. Do your thing.
Yeah, man. Old dude, before he left, made an argument something like, if Bud want to be pound for pound number one, and he got to do this and do that. Thing about it is, Bud's already pound for pound number one. He's already cemented his legacy in the sport. He's already done everything he needs to do in order to be mentioned in the history books. Everything he does now at this point is actually just extra. You know what I mean? Really. If we really want to just be realistic about the situation. And Bud has options. That's the other thing,
He do got options.
Yeah. He got options. He can fight Virgil Ortiz next. He can fight Boots Ennis. We was talking about Boots Ennis, and that was one thing you was talking about earlier, how I ain't say Boots Ennis. That was one thing you said earlier that I didn't say. He can fight Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against that. As a Bud Crawford fan, I got the complete and utter faith that Terence Crawford beats Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? I think that's Errol Spence's mandatory.
Let him go, Ben. Let him go, Ben. Go ahead, King David.
Yeah, I think that's Errol Spence is mandatory. So, you know, I mean, and Virgil Ortiz is higher than him in the ranking system. So if he's gonna fight one of them dudes, it should probably be Virgil Ortiz. But I ain't got no problem with no Boots in this fight. And then, you know, Josh Taylor, we already talked about Josh Taylor and how that's an option. And I remember what Fam was saying a little bit earlier, how he was talking about what did he say? Something about the split. Oh, not no splits. I forgot what Fam said, but just to go back on another.
Danny Garcia will be a better fight for a Bud Crawford right now. It will bring marketed business will be way better than a Boots right now. Boots would be good for what I was just trying to get you to see. Boots would be good for a Bud right now. But when you talk marketing and business knockout, Danny Garcia is still selling more than a Bud right now. I'm
I
telling
feel
you.
what you're saying. I just don't know how realistic it is since he already announced he's moving up to 154, bro. That's the only thing. He ain't even in the weight class no more. That's like saying, like, yo, Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez, that's a bigger fight than Jamal Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade.
But
Shit, they in two different divisions, bro.
They say Bob not in the way no more. Remember, Bob offered motherfucking Danny Garcia fucking $1 million. A legend like Danny Garcia, $1 million. Come on, if he with MTK Global, I know if he would Al would mandate that fight tomorrow. That'll be a good marketing fight for Bud Crawford. He'll be cleaning up the 147 right now and making a good statement. And they give him a little balance with the EJ fight if people want to be a Bud Crawford fan and have any leeway.
I feel what you're saying, bro. For me, and I ain't knocking, you know, with your stance on it. For me, I just can't see Danny Garcia as realistic because the man already said he ain't at 154 no more. I don't see him dropping down to 147 once he said he was going back. A17, I just dropped the link in the chat. Let me have this argument with King David real quick. So you still got Bud Crawford number 1 pound for pound?
Yeah, man, I still got him pound for pound number one. But real
bro.
quick though, before we go into that, let me just
Go
say,
ahead,
man,
Go ahead.
that
What
as
you
far
got?
as Danny Garcia
Yeah,
goes,
I'm with
man,
you on that one too.
Danny Garcia hitchhiked up to 147 when Bud Crawford was in that division looking for him. So Danny Garcia has made it known on multiple occasions he wants no parts to Terence Bud Crawford, you know. And then to top it off, he's at 154. Like, I mean, I would love a Danny Garcia fight, man, just for the record. Like, if we could get Danny Garcia versus Bud Crawford, I'm all for it. I think that it's a fight that doesn't really do much for Bud's career, like I felt about Sean Porter. I feel like it's the same with Danny Garcia. However, it is a fight that could potentially build his star power up a little bit more, which
But
is
see,
kind of cool.
right
You know
there,
what I mean?
Hold on, Ben. Let me catch his super chat. J Rod $5 super chat says, to set the record straight, DP Rocks is the one being disrespectful. Come on, bro. We grown as hell, bro. I haven't said nothing disrespectful to anyone, and he keeps instigating. You can work that out in the chat, J Rod. Come on, bro. I appreciate the super chat, man, but y'all figure that out. Look, don't nobody time him out if he don't say nothing disrespectful. But J Rod, you know what I'm saying? If you got something to say, you welcome on the panel. Also, DP Rocker, he been rocking with me for a long time, bro. So y'all work that out. DP, I see you saying this dude laughing out loud and shit, man. Let's just keep I don't really know what to tell you, J Rod, man. Handle yourself in that chat, man. Cook DP. If you can cook DP, cook him, bro. If you can cook him on this boxing talk shit, just cook him, fam. That's all I got to say about it.
And that's all we doing, man. We talking this boxing talk. And one thing, shout out to DP though. But one thing though, King though, like I was telling you, Danny Garcia is more accomplished than Sean Porter though, my G. I'm telling you.
I gotta step away real quick. Y'all hold it down. Don't nobody get into a yelling match while I'm gone. I'll be right back.
Oh no, man. We very professional, man. Everybody and get the smoke. I got some smoke for the get the smoke. I'm waiting on him to jump off.
All right. So for me, Danny Garcia may have like better names on his resume at 140. But overall accomplishments, accomplishments, nah. Like
and 140 get the smoke.
I'm just saying, like, but if you talk about accomplishments, now you're talking about like undisputed, right? Like that's like there's nothing on it. Like if you want to say level of competition, that's something else.
Danny Garcia never been undisputed though.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I don't think you can go with accomplishments. Maybe some other thing you're trying to say. Maybe you're saying he fought better at competition. But like also Danny Garcia, like, you know, he got some questionable decisions. So I mean, for one thing you can say about Terence Crawford is he won all those fights, like with no hands down, no controversy, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's undisputed. We not talking about Terence Crawford. We talking about Danny Garcia and Sean Porter right now.
Oh,
you know
okay, all right.
But
Okay,
between
sorry.
them two, Danny Garcia is most accomplished. If you had to say who will walk in the Hall of Fame tomorrow between those two fighters, who would you?
Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia. So would you say that'd be a better fight right now for Bud Crawford?
No, because Bud already ducked him twice. Why did you even bring up Danny Garcia? He 154 pounds. And I'll explain how he ducked. And I'll explain how Danny ducked Bud twice. I'll explain how Bud ducked Danny twice in just a minute. But why you even mentioning him? He 154 pounder. He's so scared of Jerron Ennis, he ran to 154 pounds because he knew that was who was coming next.
He's not 154 pounder yet, my brother, because the same thing that he said, Bud Crawford mentioned too, that he'll go up. But the playing fields is not good for Danny.
So Danny lying to everybody. Danny ain't 154 pounder.
Man, Bud been lying to everybody too.
Man, stop. Okay, all right. I can let you go.
We'll keep the same energy about your boy. But one fighter that has not been lying
same
to
energy.
nobody.
Why Bud ducking twice? You want to talk about same energy, and I'll take you down the timeline and give you some facts.
You to explain that.
I'll give you some facts.
But
all right, hold on.
See, hold
on. I'll give you some facts. He ducked him twice. I'll give you some facts.
I agree with you, Bud ducking. Bud is not my favorite fighter, bro.
I need to hear this, fam. Go ahead. See, how Bud ducked him twice? I need to hear this.
But I tell you how you been ducking EJ twice. That's my favorite fighter.
I tell you how he been ducking him.
Go ahead.
Ducking who?
Easy. When he won the 140-pound title, when he won the undisputed at 140 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. He had a silver bullet. He could have fought anybody he motherfucking wanted to, right? Hold on. Keith Thurman had both belts, correct? And I had already claimed the injury as soon as he got done with the fight. Now, Bud had three options. He could have fought Errol Spence and took a 35% split. We already seen him shitting on 40% now. He's shitting on 50%. He done told y'all, ain't shit changed. It's still 60-40 my way or no fight.
Hey, give me a minute, my brother. Who this is I'm talking with? What's your name, my brother?
I'm sorry?
What's your name, my brother?
It's 817, bro.
Oh, this 817. Shalom 817B, man. This big.
What's happening?
Man. What's good?
So that's what he said, right? He said it's 60-40 his way still. Ain't shit changed. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So he wasn't gonna fight Errol Spence. We already know this. Shit, he ain't gonna fight him now. He ain't gonna fight him after he get 3 straps, but that's besides the point. We keep moving on. You got Jeff Horn. You got Jeff Horn that's in-house pussy. You got Jeff Horn that's in-house pussy. He got a three fight deal. He ain't going nowhere. It's not hard to make that fight at no time. It ain't nobody signed up on the top rank at 147 pounds gonna take the belt from Jeff Horn or be tough enough to beat Bud Crawford within that 3-fight deal for Horn. So save me the cap. He could have came back and got that. So what does that leave? So hold on. So let me finish and I'll let you attack it. So what does that leave? That leave Thurman with the WBA and the WBC belts. Thurman was the first motherfucker that came out of your mouth. Why not lean on Thurman? Because you knew he wasn't gonna fight. He was gonna drop the belts anyway, which is what he did a month before you fought, before Bud fought motherfucking me, what's his name? Jeff Horn. So if he would have petitioned for the WBC belt, because we know the WBA belt was tied up with the super and the regular shit. So if he petitions for the WBC belt and for Keith Thurman to fight him for that hoe, he drop it. Guess who the #1 contender for the WBC belt was? Danny motherfucking Garcia. Guess what kind of split he mandated at? 50%.
Woohoo.
So that's the first time. That's the first time he ducked the opportunity to get at Danny Garcia. And then when they backdoored and offered Danny $3 million, you can't offer Danny no $3 million and not even want to negotiate with him, but you negotiated with Amir Khan for 7. Quit trying to sell Bud to everybody, bro. He's still not gonna fight Earl.
Let him
He's still not. Any nigga screaming 60-40 when you had 2 belts, He's still gonna be screaming some bullshit when you got 3 belts. That strap ain't gonna matter. He gonna take his ass to 154 pounds.
Hold up. So you saying when he fought Amir Khan, he took a pay cut?
Amir Khan, he was the B-side to Amir Khan with the money.
But see, so
he was the B-side to Amir Khan with the money.
They stopped Amir Khan.
Hold on. Let him finish. Oh, knock our back. But
yeah, I'm back. Y'all ain't over here tearing my house down, are you?
No. We kept it. I let 817 do his thing, and I was just asking him some questions that I already know. So 817, why he took that B-side to Amir Khan? Why he won't take the 60-40 with the biggest purse he gonna get in boxing right now?
Because he know that man gonna beat him.
All right, y'all.
If he lose to somebody else, he lose to somebody else. But his whole career been leveraged on this man's name.
Let me respond.
He's not going to fight him, y'all. Hang it up.
All right, I feel you, 817. Let King David hop in here, man. King David, do your thing. Don't nobody cut him off. Let him cook. Go ahead, King David.
All right, man. So you mentioned, you appreciate that knockout, but you mentioned how he had the silver bullet. He could have went the WBC route and possibly fought Danny Garcia for a WBC belt, even though the WBC don't have no fast track to mandatory status. So he would have been top 5 in the WBC and then had to position himself to a WBC belt rather than fight the WBO champion right away, straight off of moving right up to 147 pounds. And then you saying that
because he was undisputed.
Hold on. Let him go, y'all. Let him go.
Let him trap himself.
And then you saying that belt.
Ben, you gotta quit cutting him off, bro. Let him go, and then we'll let you cook him. Won't nobody cut you off. Go ahead, King David.
Yeah, and then you saying that belt would have been there if Crawford hadn't have fought him. Come on, bro. Everybody in the division was calling out Jeff Horn when he got that belt off the W. When he beat Manny Pacquiao and got that belt, everybody was trying to fight him. There's no way in the world Jeff Horn would have still had that belt by the time Crawford got through all these eliminators and all waiting in line for all these mandatories in order to. There's no way that belt would have been there. Whoever would have picked up that belt became undisputed, moved up to 54, and they would have been saying that he ain't ducking. Because he moved up to 54 and he's undisputed. That's what they would have been saying.
No, my G, no, King. One thing we were saying, we talking 147. We ain't gonna jump to 154, and we ain't gonna talk about your boy Jeff Horn right now. Terence Crawford was undisputed. He had every champion at his disposal, hands down. He had Errol.
Hold on, Ben, and King David, and just so everybody clear, because we gotta always talk facts. The WBO is the only one where you can move up and become the automatic mandatory if you were undisputed at a lower weight class. The WBC, you can petition it, but that's still gonna be the decision of Mauricio Suleiman. It's not actually written in their rules. It's in the WBO rules.
But knockout. What did the WBC do? What did the WBC do when Thurman dropped that belt? What did they do?
Undisputed right now, knockout as undisputed champion. Josh Taylor can mandate even Errol Spence right now. He can mandate him. I'm telling you, as undisputed, and they'll sanction that fight.
Because he can't, bro.
What did the WBC end up doing though?
But
when Thurman dropped the belt, what did they do? What did they do?
Didn't they let Danny and Sean fight for it?
The number 1 and the number 2, correct?
The number 1 and number 2. But we
So wait a minute now. So if it worked for other fighters, it would have worked for Bud the same way. If Bud petitions Thurman and Thurman drops the belt, correct? Mm-hmm. And Thurman drops the belt because the WBC told Thurman shit'll get off the pot without belt. And Thurman said he was hurt, and he relinquished it rather than getting stripped. So I'm saying, so if Bud petitions the WBC, he got his silver bullet. He undisputed. He got that call. That's the rule. The WBC, he petitioned the WBC for us, fam.
But what I'm saying,
who would he have fought?
The WBC would still have to move him.
They would have to approve it. You facts
and make him top 1 or 2 in their rankings. There's no guarantee they would do that. The only guarantee that he had, where he can be like, look, you the champion. I'm the undisputed champion at 140. I'm moving up to 147. I can fight you. And that's the WBO. That's the only one that do that for, bro.
And knockout. That's why he still has the one belt and is not and is in a position where he gonna have to cave. If Bud would have bet on himself, even attempted to bet on himself, because hear me out, because he attempted to bet on himself, which it was a cap bet. It was cap for him to petition to be the mandatory at this point because he locked himself in with a 35% split and only 2 belts, not a chance at undisputed. So that's bullshit and that's cap. Because if he didn't do it the first time around, and just like you said, if he petitioned before, it's more on the line for him to be in an advantageous position. Because if they do, he whoops Danny Garcia. He wins the WBC belt. He goes back and takes the WBO belt from Jeff Horn because wasn't nobody under top rank who could take the belt from Jeff Horn that Bud couldn't get. Everybody else was on the other side of the fucking street and would have had to been mandated to get the belt from Jeff Horn. We seen it.
All right.
And
so
I
stop
think they
the
could
cap.
have, not only that, they could have brought Ocampo over the top rank, right? You could have beat Ocampo up and got that IBF mandatory that you know that Errol fought, right?
I'm just saying he could have put himself in better positions. The boy been ducking smoke, man, and ain't no belt, ain't no extra belt gonna put no more pressure on this boy. If the boy didn't want to take it now, he not gonna take it after this third belt. He's moving to 154.
Let me say this. G5, I'm not gonna be on much longer because I gotta take my kids to go see that new Spider-Man movie. They waiting on me. That's what they are waiting on and shit. So I'll be hopping off in a little bit. And before you go, drop your link, and then that way we'll know where everybody come. 817, you can come back up, bro. I don't know. I hope it didn't drop the call or whatever, bro. But you can come back up. King David, go ahead and do your thing, bro. Cook, what you got?
Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy to me when people make that argument as far as what route Bud should have went when he was coming up to 147. The thing about that argument that just kind of kills the game in general is basically when you say he could have took this route and took that route in order to be in better position for Earl, basically, or Keith or whoever you want to put in that situation, basically you're saying he's chasing these guys, but I don't like the way he's chasing them. I mean, that's literally what you say when you make that argument. So I don't know why guys make that argument in that first place, because you're pretty much burying yourself with the fact that he's chasing these guys, but you're criticizing the way he's chasing them. So, you know, and just like to your point, what you were saying earlier, Knockout, man, like the WBO is the only sanctioning body that has that in their rules where you can move up and fight the champion right away. All these other sanctioning bodies, they put you in the top 5. You got to fight yourself into that position. You know what I'm saying? And everything else is up in the air because these sanctioning bodies vote on what they want to do, how they want to move, who they going to let fight, how they want to let fight. And it's a whole lot of politics involved in those situations. And we already see how Bud dealing with the politics right now when it comes to these situations. So I don't see how people could say or criticize Bud going the WBO route when clearly he's still in a situation or a position where he's holding one of the 4 major belts, and he's the guy to see if you want to be undisputed, which is pretty much what Errol Spence said he wanted to do. So, you know, that argument.
But Spencer's the guy. Spencer's the guy to see if he want to be undisputed too. Does Bud not care about his legacy no more? Yeah. So I don't criticize Bud. I'll never criticize a fighter for doing what's the easiest business to make. If you got 2 fighters under one promotional platform, that business is easier to make. Where I do criticize Bud, and what I don't think anybody has brought up this point yet, and then once I get done with this, I'll let everybody get their last words, and then I gotta dip off. But what I say is this, bro, about the whole situation. If you want smoke, if I want to see King David is on the West Coast. I'm not gonna go looking for King David on the East Coast. If I want to see Ben Israel, I don't know where he is, but let's say he in Houston or let's say he in Austin. I'm not gonna go looking for him in San Antonio, bro.
Baltimore, Wbo.
Okay, so he in Baltimore. I'm not gonna pull up to New York City asking where Ben Israel is at, bro. And so I say all that to say the issue that I have, and where I always call a little cap on Bud, where I always put a little bit of onus on him, and this is for the homie Drico Bay. If I want smoke, if I know, like, all right, bro, I just became undisputed at 140 pounds. I'm the man at 140. I'm the champion. I'm about to move up to 147. I'm looking at the landscape. Who are the top fighters at 147? I'm looking at Jeff Horn. I'm looking at Keith Thurman. I'm looking at Sean Porter. I'm looking at Errol Spence. I'm looking at Yordenis Ugas. I'm looking at all the top fighters. I'm looking at Danny Garcia. I'm looking at all the top 5 to 7. Appreciate you get the smoke. You always welcome, bro. I'm looking at all the top 5 to 7 welterweights, and I'm like, damn, they all over here. They all with the PBC. If I sign the top rank, I know damn well these fights gonna be hard as shit to make, bro. They're gonna be hard to make. So if I'm Terence Bud Crawford in 2018, I got options. I can sign the top rank, put a layer in between me and the fights I want, an extra layer. And this is all public information. Like, he saw how hard it was for Floyd and Pacquiao to get made. He saw how Floyd was treated by Bob Arum. He saw Miguel Cotto have to leave Bob Arum. He saw, man, he saw all this shit, bro. And then in 2018, when his contract is up, he could either go somewhere where he can get the smoke or his name ring in these streets, bro. He could have stayed independent, bro. And that's where the Bud Crawford argument, to me, that's where it falls apart, because your actions speak louder than any words. Any calling out in the sea, I'm looking for the big fish. Any these fighters ducking me, or they didn't make up size of the streets until I came along. Anytime he say that shit, I'm looking at your actions, and your actions said in 2018, you ain't really just want to go full diving deep into the smoke. And y'all excuse me, my doorbell is ringing as I'm cooking. You didn't want to dive all the way into the smoke, because if you did, bro, the move is, yo, I'm gonna be off on my own. I don't really fool with Al Heyman like that. I don't like what the PBC got going on, but I'm Terence Bud Crawford. King David say I'm the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. I'm smashing on everything moving, and I believe in myself, so I'm gonna stay independent. That way I can move freely. I can go after the fights that I want. I'm pound for pound. People want to fight me, and so I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna go make this shit happen. The fact that he didn't do that, now I'm questioning everything that he does after that. Because now it's like, bro, do you really mean this shit? Then we can go into the one man has said the whole time the fight is going to happen. And then I hear Terence Crawford 1 minute the fight going to happen. The next minute it's past me. Then the next minute I want the fight again. Then the next minute sometimes you got to let shit pass you by. Like, it's just contradictory message after contradictory message. And Bud Crawford fans will have you believe that it's because he was frustrated. He was tired of chasing Errol Spence Jr. Oh, okay, cool. Well, why the hell he ain't get tired of chasing Manny Pacquiao for damn near a decade, bro? Like, y'all can't make this shit make sense to me. So that's my major, like, if you like knockout, what's your criticism? That's my major criticism, and that's why in the back of my mind, I always question, does he really want smoke, bro? Because if I want smoke, I'm going to go to where the fire at, bro. If I want smoke, I'm going to where the fire at. I'm not going to sign to Bob Arum. If I'm looking for all the smoke at 135 or 130, I sign to Bob Arum, bro. That's where I'm signing, because he got all the 135-pound fighters, or I'm going independent to try to deal with Bob Arum. If I want smoke at 140 pounds, I'm signing to Bob Arum, because he got Jose Ramirez. He got Postal over there. He got Josh Taylor. He got all the 140-pounders. If I want 147 smoke or 154 smoke, I'm signing the PBC, or I'm staying independent, bro. That's all I'm saying to y'all, fam. Like, that's my issue with the whole Terence Crawford situation and people ducking him. People, like, it's like people forget that business and boxing, bro, that these promoters, they all out for themselves. Like, people act like Bob Arum ain't capable of blocking a fight. People act like Bob Arum ain't cheap. Terence Crawford's biggest fight of his career, that shit damn near had to go to purse bid for Bob Arum to finally make the fight. And money, bro, you know you always welcome, but I'm wrapping up, bro. I'm about to get off. We got to go catch this Spider-Man movie. But that's my final thoughts on it, bro. That's my whole situation in a nutshell. I'm happy for the fight. I'm glad Ugas and Spence are unifying. I'm glad that that we're getting one step closer to undisputed in the welterweight division, unlike King David and other Terence Crawford fans. I do believe that we still gonna get Errol Spence and Terence Crawford smoke, because I don't believe Errol Spence is gonna lie to us, y'all. I believe he gonna go in there, hopefully take care of business against Ugas, and then once he does, bro, he gonna come knocking on Terence Crawford door, just like he said he would, bro. But that's all I got Ben, go ahead and get your final words real quickly. Then King David, go right behind him. Then I'm gonna wrap up the show, y'all, because I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for this movie. My wife I can feel her looking at the back of my neck right now. Like, Negro, hurry up. It's time to go. So go ahead, Ben.
Hey, shout out Knockout for allowing Ben Israel on, you know what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real brief. You summed it all up. So all you Terence Crawford fans, is enough of this Kappa shit. You know what I'm saying? And King David, bruh, you got a lot of explaining to do, my G. I'm gonna catch you later, though. Shout out to Money Brown TV. I hope you go live.
Shout out Money. Money,
you
I've been on almost 3 hours, Money, man. I wish I would have caught you earlier, bro. I'm hopping off, bro.
But King David, though, man, I'm gonna be on your neck, bro. And it's all free smoke, though, bro.
I welcome you.
It's all love, bro. And y'all take care, Knockout, be safe.
All right, Ben, take it easy, bro.
And take
yes,
care,
sir.
my brother.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, King David. Give your last words. Let the people know where to find you. All that shit, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, Knockout, I appreciate you for having me on, man. Salute to you. Salute to everybody who was in the panel. Salute to everybody in the chat. Y'all can find me at Box or Die, Box and then Dash and then or then Dash then Die. That's where I do my thing. Appreciate y'all for having me on here, but let me give my final words on the situation. So for me, you know, to talk a little bit about what Knockout just said, he mentioned how he worries about Bud looking for the smoke. Bud has always been consistent in looking for the smoke. I believe he probably would have considered going one of those other routes, WBC or WBA.
They be hating, Money. They be hating on me, Money. I ain't talking about you, King Dave. I'm talking about my notification. They be hating on me, Money. I don't know what it is, bro. Go ahead, King Dave.
Yeah. So I believe that Terence probably would have considered going another route had Earl and Keith not told him to get a belt first. That was certainly a contributing factor in the decision that he made in order to go the WBO route. So that's the reason for that. But just to recap what my talking points are, I feel like as far as Errol Spence is concerned, from the moment that this fight was talked about, it was always different reasons for why the fight couldn't happen, whether it was to get a belt, whether it was because the easy route needed to be taken, whether it was because of this or whether it was because of that. And one thing about this situation with Ugas that I just have a huge issue with is Yordenis Ugas fight didn't need to happen right now, fam. It couldn't happen.
King David, I'm getting yelled at, bro. I got to dip off, man. But I appreciate you hopping on, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Peace out, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I appreciate y'all watching. I got to go watch Spider-Man. Hopefully he kill all the bad guys and shit. I got to go take my kids, take my wife to Spider-Man. But y'all be sure to smash the like button on your way out of here, man. I appreciate y'all watching the live stream. With that, we out of here. Peace.